Good evening and welcome to Ripon Tiger Football on the Ripon Channel, 93.1 FM, AM 1600, AM The Wave. Tonight, the Tigers play host to the Raiders from Kiel. Kiel comes in with a victory last week over Kewanee, 13-7. Tigers, on the other hand, come in with a defeat to Winnebago, right? Let's try Watertown Lutheran Prep. And not a good scenario for the Tigers to start out with. I'm Howard Hansen. Joining me is Marty Ernster. And Marty, let's talk a little bit about last week's game down in Watertown.
Yeah, Howard, you had a young team. I say young for Ripon. You got a squad of 30, 10 are seniors. They had one returning offensive lineman, and I think that stood out quite a bit during the contest. So it's going to be interesting how they come off of that from a week ago, that offensive line, and see what 1 week under your belts will do. But the issue was the inability to move the ball offensively by Ripon. They had a total of about 160 yards, about 70 passing, the rest on the ground. Olson was the leading rusher, 7 carries. He gave you about 5 yards per carry. They're going to have to, I think, get more people involved. Stelmacher is one name that comes to my mind. On the ground if they're going to have some success here offensively. But they're going to have to fire off the line according to Coach Bradley tonight, and they got to stay low, and you're going to have to try to be more physical. Defensively last week, there were some nice things. They had the one interception by speaking to Jared Stelmacher, set up their only score of the game. In fact, that was the first score of the game in the first quarter. Defensively, they created another interception. They had a fumble recovery as well as a fourth down stop, which is like a turnover. So they did some things that were really good. Now, you're always looking to be more consistent on both sides of the ball, and defense is no different. So that's where they're going to have to improve, where you play well on the first 2 downs and then you let it get away from you on third and give the opposition another set of fresh downs.
A couple things the Tigers, I thought, did well is not many penalties. They didn't have their first penalty until the second half. For a young ball club, that really says a lot. And then the second half, they seemed to settle in a little bit more defensively in controlling the Phoenix down there. And it was a much better ball game, so hopefully they can pull some of that into this game tonight against Kiel.
Yeah, conversely, Watertown Luther Prep probably had more dead ball personal penalties than Ripon had total penalties in the entire contest. But they were the victors nonetheless, and they did it in a demanding fashion. I think tonight, coming off of that win by the visitors, Kiel, this will be the 6th meeting between the two ball clubs, and Ripon is 0 for 5 in that effort in terms of coming up with more points on the scoreboard at the end of the game. And so they haven't been successful. And in fact, they've been dominated when you basically look at about 160-some points over those 5 games to Ripon's, I think, 42 points in those 5 games, which includes a couple of shutouts. This is a team, the Raiders from Kiel, that just 2 seasons ago, or I should say 1 season with the
COVID season, lack of COVID season. Yeah,
that they made it to the state championship. So we know that they do have a program. And what better way than to start their season against Kewanee, a team that's considered in their conference to be a good competitor this year to compete for that conference championship.
And that was a good game, 13-7.
In the first 10 of the 12 minutes of the quarter, Kewanee had the ball. In the first 10 minutes of those 12 quarters. And they didn't let them score, that defense for the Raiders. Didn't let them score. And then Kewanee eventually did score in the second quarter, came right back, Kiel. It was 7-7 at the half. It goes tied into overtime. And once again, that defense for Kiel stood out. And they put the ball in the 25-yard line in overtime, for you people that aren't quite sure how the WIA does this. And then you get a regular set of downs, 1st and 10, to see what you can do. Well, they shut them down 4 straight plays. And then on the ensuing first offensive play by Kiel, they ran an inside counter, reverse trap, call it what you want, and the kid ran 25 yards in for the winning score, and that was it. They didn't even know what happened to him. So defense comes to mind when I think of Kiel. And then according to Coach Bradley tonight, coming into the game, for those that read the local paper, as I did this afternoon, is that what defensively Rippon's going to have to be mindful of is they like to run misdirection. And, hey, Ripon, double wing, Gordy Gillespie offense, Southern Veer, call it what you want, ran it. Nobody ran it better. And then a power football with, sounds like probably some jet sweeps I'm anticipating. So Rippon's defensively has to attack. You have to come off the ball. You got to use your hands. You have to have really active hands. Get the blocker off of you and bend to the ball.
It's like you said, the game is won in the trenches. That's an old statement for it's been told, but it's the truth.
It's true.
If you don't control the trench, control the holes in that, you can have all the talent in the backfield and out on the outside net, and it's not going to do any good. So
yeah, it was interesting, the winning score in that overtime, that 25-yard run by number 5, the running back. When they asked him, hey, what did you do in that play? He just immediately gave the 5 names of the 5 offensive linemen.
Smart young man.
How's that for an endorsement?
Exactly.
Of one in the trenches.
Well, we're going to turn around and take a break here and send it to the coaches show and see exactly what Coach Mark Bradley had to say about last week's game and his thoughts for tonight's game. The coaches show will be on in just a moment on the Ripon channel and the Wave.
93.1 and AM 1600 Wave, along with the Ripon channel, as we get sent for Ripon versus Kiel tonight. High school football, joined by head coach Mark Bradley. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem along. Let's talk a little bit about first who you brought with you today.
Brought senior Caleb Hopp. He plays offense and defense for us, and even some special teams.
Awesome. Welcome, Caleb.
Hi, thank you.
Thanks for coming on in tonight. Let's talk a little bit about the game last week. Let's go back to that game against Watertown Luther Prep. Kind of your thoughts as you take away from that game.
We did some things that were good, and then we did some things that we need to keep working on and finish up. And, it's kind of our first time being in a game with our kind of new updated offense and defense. And, and so we're trying to get the bugs out. And so, like I said, we did some things that really did good, and then other things that we have to shore up and finish up as we move on through the season.
I think you were quoted in the paper as saying you had 4 out of your 5 offensive linemen. That was their first game, right?
Yep.
So,
first game.
That nerves has got to be there, right? There's some of that in that.
Yep. And, and any time in a game, they're moving guys around on the different lines, and, we have to adjust for it. And, one guy or one missed player on defense can wreck the play. And so, we just have to make sure we're on the same page and communicating the whole time.
A new offensive scheme, new defensive scheme as well coming on in for that. So there's a lot of book time, I would think, that's been in here the last few weeks, just trying to get to learn those things.
Yeah, it's been a lot at practice. We've been repping and going through stuff, and then we look at our clock and it's like, holy cow, we're done already.
Right. Jalen, has it been overwhelming, or has it been somewhat tolerable?
It's been fun, and it's a progress.
I don't know if that's the answer. It's been fun, but it's been progress. But so far, kids are buying in, and it's it's been a weird year when it comes to high school football. Obviously, with the spring season and now this, and you're back at it again. Just kind of talk about that kind of feel and how the body's reacting to that too.
You need to adjust to it, but once you get used to it, it's good.
Okay. Your thoughts on last week's game? What do you think you need to take away from that?
We just need to continue to keep working hard, and eventually we'll get there and get the hang of it.
Awesome. Good to hear. Let's talk about a formidable opponent this week coming up with Kiel, a tough team as well that you're going to be facing. What are you looking for in the Raiders?
They're going to come out and be aggressive. They fire off the ball really well, and they're physical. They're going to keep coming at us and keep putting pressure on us offensively and defensively, and we just have to make sure that we are same way with them and getting the punch first, and so then we can dictate how things go on our side.
You come off a tough game last week Friday in a warm environment. You've had practices all week that have been hot and humid, and now you come into a game tonight as well that's going to be hot and humid. How's the conditioning for that go? How does practice look for you in those sense of things?
We try to get conditioning in at different times during the practice. It could be in a drill that we're doing where we're doing a pursuit drill where they're running. It could be repping plays, going fast and hustling in and out of the huddle. And just kind of anytime we can, 5 minutes here and there, doing a quick, all right, let's go sprints and stuff, just to get them at different times and different stages, and to try to build that endurance and conditioning up and keeping them safe in the heat.
Yeah, and Kayla, you can kind of address this as well too. But the athletes nowadays are well more conditioned. Obviously, spend a lot more time in the weight room working those kind of things. So you're adjusting to it.
Yeah, you just got to play through it and adjust to the temperature and keep going at it.
Yeah. And just talk about how fun it's been for you so far this season.
Been a blast, Senior year, you got to keep going.
Yeah, and you've been with the program a long time and worked through it. And Coach has been in here now. Is this your third year?
Yep.
Coming
Yep.
into here. So just talk about the dynamic of how things have been the last couple of years.
It's been good. Yeah. Every year it gets better, and I've been looking forward to this year for a while.
What you looking forward to the most?
Everything.
Everything. That's great. The numbers that you have, you had a lot of guys playing both ways.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work with the kind of the heat and the temperatures? Are they dealing with it?
Yeah, they're doing a good job. We just have to keep, conditioning and keep working hard, and and then the backups have to be ready, so that then if we do need to give a breather to somebody because of tired or the heat or whatever, that they're ready to go. And the last couple of years we've had a bunch of injuries, and we've had to have that next guy ready, and so they know that no matter if you're second string or what, you got to be ready because we may need you at any point in the game, and you have to be able to execute. So that's kind of what we've been telling the kids, and work through it.
Question for both of you. I'm curious your answers. Obviously, the game tonight against Kiel is of super importance, but the conference season kicks off next week, and your conference kickoff is against Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting is that?
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, talk about getting fired up right away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in one of those situations that could be a real step towards the rest of the momentum of the season, right?
Yep.
Overall health of the team pretty good?
Yeah. We got through last week without any injuries, and so we're doing good.
Kayla, what's the goal for you this season?
I want to have a winning season, that's for sure.
Awesome. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on in tonight. We certainly do appreciate that. We'll get you to the kickoff here, Ripon versus Kiel, coming up in just a little bit.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a new career? The Smuckers facility in Ripon needs you as part of their team. Starting wages is over $20 per hour, full benefits, effective day one, and a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Apply online at www.smuckerscareers.com. And we are back here at Ingalls Field and getting ready for the game between the Kiel Raiders and the Ripon Tigers. Kiel won that toss and deferred, as most teams do nowadays, and they'll defend the north goal. And
they don't know why they do that, other than they watch the NFL do it on television.
Yep.
So they said, "Hey, let's try that."
Pros are doing it. Why not?
Sure.
But, speaking of the pros, tomorrow the Packers are out east getting ready for some football, and
12 noon kickoff. Shuffle off to Buffalo.
none of the starters will be playing, of course, like always. They've got a lot of young talent to look at and evaluate, so it'll be an interesting one there.
Hey, back with this Raiders team, talking to Coach Bungie earlier in the week and looking at them now, just in pure numbers, they're much like Ripon right now in that they're suiting up 29. Kiel is, so they're down by their standards. They're down by numbers this season.
And in case anybody doesn't know out there, Rick Bungie, who is in our school system and a principal, is a graduate of Kiel High School. So there's a little bit of connection there.
Look at, I was looking at big number 72, Tyler Halfman for Kiel. He's a senior, thank goodness. He's 6'5", 345, and all he does is punt. I was kidding,
right.
people. That's just kidding.
They're going to play just 3 guys on the line when he's out there offensively because he is big.
He's one of their offensive linemen, and they got decent size across the line.
Give him the ball, and let's see how far he can go before we can bring him down.
Yeah. I'm real curious tonight with the Tigers coming off of that loss on the road, how they respond with their home opener against a quality program.
Well, we'll get to look at it right away as they're going to get the ball.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, a guy that stood out in my mind, it's a couple of them actually, for the Tigers in that loss that they did have was the sophomore, number 5. Yep. I felt Jordan Perkins, that had 7 tackles, was outstanding. And, of course, all-conference selection from a year ago, Quentin Stevens, he led defense with 11 tackles. Kai Agamite had 8. Caleb Hopp and Noah Olson each had a half dozen tackles to lead the defense last week.
The defense was really good, especially the corners. Stubel out there on one of them, and Stelmacher.
No,
I thought they did an excellent job.
Stelmacher did well last season too. If he does as well as he did last year, in fact, I think he'll probably be better. I think he'd be in consideration for postseason recognition,
as he should be.
Offense, like I said, we had number 3 doing all the damage for us, but they need more. He needs more help on the ground, and so does the quarterback, the sophomore.
They
Bradley.
need to spread that around, as you said.
You got to get more on the ground so that you can balance it out with the passing attack.
And here's the kick. It's going to be a short one, and it's not going out of bounds. Somebody better jump on it, as they do.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, nice little sidestep there. Perkins, we're going to get a flag as a block in the back.
That's the guy I was talking about, the sophomore. He's a fine player.
Had some nice moves there to get some yardage for the Tigers.
Like I said, for a sophomore to have the tackles, 7 tackles last week. We want to get more of the front 7 getting more tackles. That's when you know your defense is really playing well.
So they'll march this one back as it is a block in the back.
It would have been beyond the 30, and now they'll be deep in their territory.
Yeah, the infraction came at the 26-yard line.
So much for not too many penalties last week.
Yeah. Well, that was last week I was talking about. This week's a whole new week. And they'll march that one back to the 16-yard line where the Tigers will take over, 1st and 10. See what this young squad will do on their first possession here at home on the 2021 season.
43 defense.
And nothing out there for Olson as he tries to go around the right side. He'll lose about 5.
It'll be a considerable loss, yes.
Good pursuit over there. Howard Hansen, Marty Ernst are bringing this one to you along with the gang from the Ripon channel.
Yeah, we're doing it all. We're live streaming the Ripon channel, AM, FM radio. What else is there?
We used to do, through the wire, but they tore that down.
Yep.
That one's a little bit up the middle there. Maybe a pickup of 2 yards.
Yeah, they can't even get back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and a bunch right now coming up. It's not how you wanted to start with your offense. Puts really a lot of pressure line.
As we saw that last week, they struggled early in the game. So Agamite goes wide to the top side. The lone receiver. Bradley barks it out. Looking.
Sprint out right.
Quick little pass out there, and
got a few.
Stelmacher just picked up a couple of yards there.
Got about 5. So got back the original loss on 1st and 10 of 5, and then I see he stepped out. So it brings up 4th and 9.
He will turn around and come off to the side there, and back the punt will be Olson for the Tigers.
This is going to be key. The snaps really were less than standard to start the game. They got better as it went, but you can't afford a mistake here on your punt coverage.
High snap. Gets it away off the side of the foot. That's going to be out about maybe the 35.
He was under pressure, too. Boy, he barely got that away.
Still walking it down, getting close to the 35, and that's where the consensus will be.
Short field. So it's going to be a short field no matter where they spot it. So the defense will have to be ready to fly around right now.
Yeah, they'll have to pick it up here.
Like I
to
said,
be honest, that was the bright spot of the Tigers last week, was the defense.
Kiel defeated the Kewanee Storm. We were talking in pregame 13-7 last week.
Just can't get used to that name change for Kewanee.
Another weather pattern.
Quick snap, handoff up the middle, kicks it around. Still on his feet, and he'll pick up close to a first down. I think they're going to give him just short, maybe. Yep, they'll put him down close to the 25-yard line.
Connor Meyer, he's the senior 5'8", 185-pounder. And, boy, he's already 5'8". And then if you watch that play closely, he really ran low. So he's great feet, classic good running back, all the assets you want to have. He was the one with the winning score in overtime a week ago tonight.
Give it to him again. Why not? He tries going around the right side. And he'll get the first down, but good pursuit there by the Tigers.
Yeah, Brett Bach, I thought, did a nice job. He was there first, and then he got help from his buddies.
Quentin Steffens was also out there for the Tigers, number 74.
Good enough for a first, however.
So here we go, 1st and 10. Ball is sitting on the 23-yard line. Single receivers to the left and right. Single back. They keep it on the ground, this time off the left side. A big hole going through over there and takes it down to just about the 11-yard line.
He probably had 6 to 7 yards before he was even touched by anyone. The left side of the offensive line, they're doing their job in a big manner, pretty much blowing the defense right off that line of scrimmage. Nothing fancy here.
Well, they ran that last one behind Tyler Halfman, and he showed the holes he can create. Little high snap, hung on to. Quarterback keeping it. Slowed down enough there.
That'll be a loss.
He's still on his feet and going. Refuses to go down. Good pursuit there by the Tigers. Half a dozen black jerseys in there on that. Coming up on the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter, we are scoreless here at Ingalls Field on a hot and muggy night. Not football weather, folks. Now they go with twins to the top side. Changing up the formation. Straight up the middle, little sidestep, looking to juke back. Nice, waited for the hole to develop and got inside the 10.
Yeah, that hole got plugged up is what happened, and he bounced it out to the right. Nice job. That was 23 for the Raiders. Another Connor Benverisi, I think.
You were saying they had 3 Connors.
They have 3 Connors and a Colin, and something else in there too.
My favorite, the Odin. So here we go.
3rd and long.
Yep. Looking to pass. Wide open. Little toss over the middle. Gets a few yaks there, but the Tigers shut that down right around just inside the 5, they'll call it.
That was sort of an odd-looking play. The defender was there, but he kind of froze and just locked in on the ball.
Well, he had another receiver behind him too,
he wasn't a receiver. That was a set play. He was the blocker, and he did a nice job of letting the receiver get those yards out of it. So because of that, Howard, the defense does their job. They kept them out of the first down territory.
Snap is low, kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is good.
Yeah, it was plenty of leg.
And Sipple putting that one through the uprights at the 7:16 mark here in the first. The Raiders take the lead over the Tigers.
Celebrating 125 years of community banking, committed to providing excellent customer service and support of local business, community, and individual financial growth. We're talking about Horicon Bank, the natural choice, member FDIC.
Make the long drive this season with confidence all year long. Get ready for your next road trip with Goodyear tires from Cliffs Tire and Battery, West Fond du Lac Street, Ripon.
And we'll finish up. Drive your favorite teams to the game with Lamers Bus Lines. Lamers is now hiring school bus drivers. Great pay, flexible schedules, complete driver training, and bonus up to 1,500 smackers. Apply in person or go to lamers.com/careers. That's Lamers Bus.
Got to get those kiddies to school as they start this coming Wednesday, I believe it is.
And then they got the commercial buses too, right? I mean, they take people everywhere. Right?
They do. They
give you a roll of quarters, take you up to a casino. Right?
Yeah. That way the driver can play, right? With that roll of quarters you give them. All right, here we go. Sipple ready to kick it. This one's a little deeper than the previous. It'll skip, run, and go into the end zone.
Oh,
for the touchback.
Close to going out of bounds,
yeah,
which would have been great to get it spotted out, I think, on the 40, but not to be.
So the Tigers will take over for their second possession here.
Well, they got a series under their belts. It didn't go well, but now they can come up, catch their breath. The nervous energy is probably worn off somewhat, so they can kind of listen to what the coaches are telling them.
The referee was looking at the ball, kind of funny, you know. I mean, it flew pretty good. Maybe there's helium in it.
They're switching balls. Yeah, that helium really works. Probably got that out of the New England Patriots ball bag.
Exactly. Deflate gate. In this case, it'd be inflate
gate.
All right, here we go. 7:16 to go here in the first quarter. Tigers trailing 3-0 on your Heidel House scoreboard. There's the snap. Looking to come around left side. Little pickup about a yard. A little extracurricular activity happening downfield there. And the officials step right in and keep everybody moving. So it'll be 2nd and 9.5.
So goes the offensive line for the Ripon Tigers. So go the offense. So when you start to see success on the ground with Ripon, you'll know the guys up front are starting to figure things out.
Yeah, there's plenty of speed in the backfield to hit those holes. They just got to get the holes there. Going with a 4-man defensive line. There's the late pitch out.
Oh, nowhere.
The big guy turns around. Cameron Hahn will pick up about a yard on that. Great lateral pursuit by the defense to shut that down. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It was a little deception in that it was like it set up like a jet play with Olsen, and then it was the pitch. But the two guys on the end just stepped across the line of scrimmage and were waiting. They were the jaws of the lion.
They didn't bite.
Well,
so it brings up 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Egamite on the top side. Looking back to pass, going deep to Egamite. He's got a step on the defender.
Well, there's a flag.
Yeah, you can't grab him in the back. And
Egamite had a leg injury last year. I think he must have got run up on just now, got stepped on. So it's unlike the NFL people. No, it's not going to be spotted at the
infraction.
Yeah, I think it's just a 10-yard variety automatic first down.
He's pounding his fist, so he is hurting out there. So
and they really don't have Egamite. In fact, was the only receiver last week that caught passes. He had all 7 catches from the sophomore Bradley to account for the 70 yards of passing.
Well, we'll take a little bit of a break here as they look at Kai Egamite there. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. I do. But if you think your retirement deserves more attention, Edward Jones can help. Step by and your local Edward Jones financial advisor, Greg Golovich, at 121 Watson Street, or Shade Horton at 1098 West Fond du Lac Street, and learn more. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Hillside Dental Associates in Ripon has been offering a complete range of premium dental care for over 35 years, including preventative hygiene, cosmetic, and restorative procedures, along with Invisalign and sedation dentistry. That's Hillside Dental Associates.
Butsy Merchant, serving local families with grace and compassion since 1986.
Back in the 60s, there was a local group of people that they were called PU, Pleasure Unlimited, and they would get together once a month or once every other month. And they would have themes and parties and plans, and it was all over. And one of them was the late Carl Budsine. It was at Pickard Commons, and my parents were describing it to me, and they rolled out a casket, and Carl came out of it. Carl popped up out of the casket. I kid you not.
Party on!
Yeah, so anyway, that was called PU, Pleasure Unlimited back then.
Kai Egamite up on his own power here, walking off. That's a good thing to see.
That's big. They need it. You know, when you are limited with numbers and seniors, there's a lot to be said. I say this all the time. I can't say it enough. I think of high school football, and I think of successful programs, and seniors typically are in a physical game and a physical sport like this. Seniors are usually the determining factor, or a huge part of success or their lack of in football.
Well, the Tigers get a first down on the penalty, pass interference penalty, put the ball down at the 37-yard line. Bradley calls it out. We got a counter there to Stelmacher as he's coming around. He's got some yardage. Puts the brakes on, gets up to the 40, across to maybe the 38-yard line. Nice job on Olsen and selling that as he was going around to the right side.
Yeah, he did, and he tried to sell that on that jet sweep I was talking about earlier that was figured out by the opposition. This time, what's interesting about this play, too, not just the success and probably the longest run of the season for the offensive unit, is that this is a team that they're going against. This is what they do. They run misdirection. They run stuff like that. What do we got here?
We have a penalty against Ripon. The flag is way over on the far side. So it was a infraction over on the line of scrimmage.
So instead of
instead
of first and 10 inside the 40 of Kiel, they're going back for a first and 15 inside their own 35.
On the 32-yard line, yeah.
Wow.
It was a great play, and somebody started a little too soon. What a bummer for the Tigers. That was a great play. Developed really well. But what's good about that is
there's two critical penalties on Ripon. I mean, the opening kickoff that set them deep in their own territory, so they never had a chance to really get out and get some first downs. And then now this one, their best offensive play darn near of the season, is brought back on a miscue.
Well, it was good to see Stelmacher being able to run to the wide side. I mean, if you remember last week, pretty much all his runs were to the short side and not real effective on a lot of those.
It's a 44 defense, but they roll up their outside.
Olsen with a quick one, and he's hit hard as he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
They roll up the defense for Kiel. I think it's a 44, but they roll up their outside linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. And another team that used to do that decades, let's say 15 years ago.
Well, that's eons.
Was Sheboygan Falls. And they were the measuring stick for the then Ripon program when they started turning things around. That started at around 1999, and then later in the new millennium or whatever, they got a couple state championships.
I remember them beating Sheboygan Falls over there in a playoff. Looking to pass, quick little toss out to Olsen. He'll get up to midfield and a first down.
He's in bad guy territory if they spot it. Yeah, somewhere's around the 48 or so. Nice play. Sucked him in on play action pass.
Struby on that one with a nice little pass there.
Sophomore, yeah, I was just going to say, little trickery.
Got to do what what you can. First down here as we get into the Raider territory here with 4:40 to go. It's 3-0 Raiders with the lead on your Heidel House scoreboard.
Yeah, that's right. Heidel House scoreboard. You're back in action, folks.
Motion.
Keeper.
Bradley will keep this one. Got to move quick. Nowhere to go. He'll lose about 3 or 4.
Yeah, the penetration by the defense is the issue. Anything slow developing, meaning wide and sweeps, that general, doesn't seem to do well for Ripon. They did have the one with Stelmacher that was called back, but that in itself also was, I think, some misdirection initially.
Yeah,
So-
the defense shifted for Olsen, and Stelmacher just slipped right behind.
Yeah, so when you have a very aggressive, really hot pursuing defense like Kiel, what better way than to keep them in check with reverses?
And nowhere to go on that one.
Look, everybody and their brother, along with their sisters, was in that backfield.
And that was led by big number 72,
Yeah, we talked
Tyler
about
Hoffman.
him. Is he big or
He
what?
is huge. I mean, White,
And he's tall. I mean, he's big. He's not,
6'5".
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just like this human bowling ball. This guy is proportionately big. He's shoulders, tree trunk legs.
Yep. So it brings up 3rd and 19 for the Tigers here. And
Now
Bradley's going to call a
Another-
timeout. Didn't like what he saw there and take a timeout here with 3:20 to go here in the first period.
Fortified Bank is growing Wisconsin one person, one business, one relationship at a time. Visit fortifiedbank.com to see how banking locally is a win for you and our community. Member FDIC.
Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and the team up every morning with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
Fusion Heating and Cooling, the area's newest family-oriented train dealer, offers service on all manufacturers' brands and specializes in providing solutions for all of your home comfort needs. Getting the job professionally done and on time. Fusion Heating and Cooling, servicing Ripon and surrounding areas.
Webster's Marketplace is proud to be your locally owned and operated grocery store since 1987. Featuring an in-store deli, bakery, floral shop, butcher, and smokehouse. Webster's is a full-service grocery store, Highway 23 in Ripon.
Hey, next time you're heading out for breakfast or lunch, visit Mr. and Mrs. P's Eatery. Their menu includes many different scratch-made, professionally prepared entrees, and your meal with a delectable, or I should say, end your meal with a delectable dessert from their in-house bakery. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Mr. and Mrs. P's, Final X Street, and they're also open Friday nights.
And coming out of that timeout, we get a flag right away.
Yeah, my wife, as we speak, and 3 of my sister-in-laws are doing the fish fry over there right now. So I expect a full scouting report.
Scouting report.
When I get
Connie,
home.
hey, we're hungry up here. Bring us something.
And I hope that I'll get 3 of each on those delectable desserts.
There you go. So turn around and with the penalty, the ball will be moved back to the 38-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 38.
This is all on you, Howard.
Yeah, I'll take it. What the heck? I got broad shoulders. Bradley looking back pass, going deep. Egamite's in there.
Look
He's
out.
fighting. Almost picked off. And a little injury there as he came down awkward on his shoulder. It looks like that's number 28.
Yep. Yeah,
Max Schaefer.
that could be bad news on a jammed shoulder into the turf in terms of dislocation.
Well,
You think of 2 things. You think of dislocation, you think of broken collarbone.
Well, one good thing is when we redid the field year and a half, 2 years ago, we did put a concussion pad underneath it this time, and hopefully it makes a difference. When you walk on it, it's really spongy, so you kind of like that aspect of it.
We believe a company like a family is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out walsworth.com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School. That's Walsworth.
For truly delicious lunch or evening dinner, plan on a visit to Pastimes Pub and Grill. Carol's homemade soups are always available, along with a great variety of sandwiches, awesome burgers and salads. Be sure to try their popular baby back ribs, available Saturday evenings. If you enjoy cooking, stop in and apply at Pastimes Pub and Grill in downtown Ripon.
Who's working the board tonight? You said Johnny.
Johnny's working tonight.
Johnny's working.
Johnny Ray.
Johnny
out
Ray.
There.
I listened to him and Knuth talking
this morning.
This morning, God,
always
those guys
do.
are great.
Every Friday.
Because they're doing Silver Creek Dentistry commercials back on the over the air back at the
station. Yeah.
Because I was going to say those blueberry muffins. Oh, boy, I'm gonna tell you, they got the right.
They got it set.
No, it's interesting. We were talking shoulder. Well, it certainly looks like something else has gone cattywampus on the young man. So early in the season, hope it's not too serious. But
you hate
needless to say, he is in some pretty good pain right now.
You hate to see something like that happen in a non-conference game,
Oh yeah, conference games, that's okay.
Sure. Well, they mean a little bit more than a non-conference
I had to
game
say that,
does.
Howard.
I know.
You left that wide open.
I was waiting for you to run with it. Exactly.
I had to run with that. So it's fourth and, let's see, it's fourth and
24.
another zip code.
Yeah. They're kicking from Brandon. 3:13 to go here. It's 3-0 Kiel on top of Ripon on your Heidel House scoreboard.
They have worked on the snap because before it was two bounces for the first 3 punts last week to the punter, and it got better last week. And then this one was a bullet. It was a high snap, but I think they worked on it. Obviously, let's see if we can get this one just right into the hands.
I was watching Olsen punting during pregame, and he was hitting some boomers. Nice snap there. And he took it off the side of the foot.
That's okay if it rolls.
Yeah, keep going. Just going to go out of bounds right around the 21, 22-yard line is where they're going to mark that one.
It worked out.
So Kiel will take over for their possession here.
Yeah, Johnny Ray. I listen to him in the mornings too. Sometimes when I'm out on the golf course mowing, I met him. He was the grand marshal at the the Geranium that little
Germania.
Town. Germania. I was at that. They had their big festival last spring.
Now
My wife and I went to that. It was crazy. It was a great place.
They have one tavern and one church, isn't that about it?
First time
Germania,
I've ever
if I
been
remember
there.
right.
Yeah, first time I ever went there. I never seen so many vehicles that were off-road vehicles, more than cars. Here we go. Wow.
Look what a juke and still going.
Woo. That was designed to go off the right-hand side, actually, and he had to cut that back.
Hagemite coming off to the side here.
Yeah.
He's still hurting.
Yep, that's exactly right from that pass interference call that he got ran up on. He's one of those guys, one of those leaders you got to have out there, one of those seniors, I think, for sure.
Well, to be honest, I think a little more important on the offensive side as a receiver because he takes two guys with him everywhere he goes.
Well, don't forget, he was, second in tackles.
Keeper up the middle, bounces it off to the left side.
More deception. That was the student body right fake, and then a keeper, like you said, bootleg out the back door. But the defense did a pretty good job and minimized the damage.
Cameron Hahn chased him down from behind and
3-yard
got
gain.
the tackle.
Yeah, good job by the D.
So it brings up second and we'll say a short 7 as the first quarter is at the 2-minute mark here. We get Twins to the near side here. See how the Tigers adjust to this.
Ripon showing blitz, and they bring it off the edge.
Straight up the middle. And going to get the first down with the second, third, and fourth effort.
Well, Kiel's delivering the blows, and Ripon's doing the catching.
Well, Halfman is just turning around and taking two people out as he steps forward twice, and that creates a huge hole for the running back to choose which way he wants to go. So first down, ball is on the 47-yard line of Kiel. Looking to pass.
Out.
Quick hitter out. Nobody's out there and just overthrew the intended receiver. And that was Reed Libke.
Nothing fancy there. That was a timing pattern, too. That ball was released before he made his cut on that simple out pattern. Just overthrew him.
And he had plenty of time, just kind of rushed it there. Like you said, timing pattern,
Well,
just flipped it out there.
Yeah.
Halftime tonight, the cheer squad had a cheer camp today. And we'll have some of the younger gals from Ripon that are looking to show what they learned. 2nd and 10. Oh, thought he left a little early on this side.
That was a power formation with 2 tight, 1 wing, and a single split, and they ran it right up the middle. So the way they lined it up is what they did. They ran power football up the middle.
The old days of Jim Watson football here in Ripon used to do that.
That was the era, back then. It was all power football. It was power I, and it was option.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders. Looking to go downfield, wide open.
Kind of overthrew him.
Yes. He had an easy 7 there. And Libke was down there waving his hands, and Connor Faust just overthrew him. Got a little excited there, I'm sure.
That's what happens when you're winning the game on the ground in big chunks. You are so in tune defensively to the ground game that's what happens, because even if you have a cover 2 with 2 safeties deep, you feel compelled, the pressure's on you to get up there and help out on the tackling, and that's what happens.
So it'll be the first punt of the game for Kiel.
Good job by the Ripon defense again. They held.
High snap.
Wow.
Nice punt, gets that one away. Takes a roll.
Yeah, it touched the player, so he'll be spotted where it touched the Kiel player.
Right around the 17-yard line is where they'll mark that, 16.5, 17.
2 Ripon players were in on that near block, but not only was it a near block and they didn't get in on him, like you said, Howard, that was a good boomer.
Yeah, he got some height on that. So 33 seconds to go here in the first quarter, a slow first quarter.
Are you looking for a new career? The Smuckers facility in Ripon needs you as part of their team. Starting wage is over $20 per hour. Full benefits effective day 1 and a $1,000 sign-on bonus apply at www.smuckerscareers.com.
Late Tiger coming into that play, goes all the way around. Bradley calls it out. Little mix-up there. I think Hahn went to the wrong side because Bradley looked confused. And he goes down for the big loss.
Well, we won't know. Those 2 guys know, but we don't know sitting up here.
So Ripon probably going to be content to let this one run out here.
Usually the quarterback is correct. It pains me to say that.
Well, they're supposed to be. That's why they're the
ones
get the glory there.
They know all the plays.
Well, that's where the first quarter is going to come to an end with the Kiel Raiders leading the Ripon Tigers 3-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Ripon Channel and the Wave. Welcome back to Inglesfield as we get ready to start the second quarter here on the Ripon channel and the Wave. It's a 3-0 lead. Kiel leading Ripon on the Heidel House scoreboard. And Ripon will turn around and have 2nd and 14. Maybe switching field sides will help them.
Get half of those yards right now.
A little
Selmacher.
Trying to get a little bit.
Little stutter step on the reverse. Cut it up inside for a couple.
Yeah, he'll pick up about 2 or 3 at the most. They're generous and give him 3, so.
Cole Gregney is working solo on his end. Chris Jones is out. We're not sure where he is or what he's doing. He didn't get in contact with me, so I don't know. But our chief executive producer, Riley Eisnagel, has graced us with his presence tonight up in the booth. So I'll tell you what, the line outside this door for autographs is mind-boggling.
We were beating him off in between the first and second quarter. Stelmacher in motion. Bradley with a quick little pass.
Hey,
nice catch out there. Good catch.
Oh, what a pop. Yeah, they're going to call hitting a defenseless player up high into the helmet area.
They're going to call leading with the helmet.
I think that's Caleb Hopp. We haven't called his name out too much here early on in the season. But what a big catch at a big moment to get him out of the hole, get that first down. And they're going to tack on to it, you got to believe, another 15 dead ball penalty. That'll take him into, if it is, to the 45-yard line of Kiel. Let's see. Well, they're having a convention now about it.
Things could change.
I mean, I saw it right away. I don't need to have a convention. I thought it was he was defenseless, and it was a high pop to the helmet. They're picking up the flag.
And they're going to mark it off.
Okay.
Yep. He led with his helmet as he was.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think he did. I thought he hit him. I didn't think he put his head down like a ram. But the point is, where he hit him was definitely at the head area.
Yeah, exactly. And he had it had the head down and was leading. I think they call it spearing nowadays. I'm not sure. They changed it so much. But anyway,
I think it was just illegal contact to the head.
So it brings up first down ball on the 45-yard line of the Raiders.
Good news for Ripon. Not so much for Caleb Hopp, but Ripon with a chance to get some points maybe as we see offsides. I think
a
Ripon
big jump. He didn't move.
No, they're calling against Ripon.
Oh, who jumped?
I saw motion and I didn't see anybody jump, but they did.
No way. Bradley can't believe it.
I didn't see it. Give him a number. Bradley's asking for a number.
And he won't give him one. I saw 62 just jump into the backfield right away. The only one moving was Olsen, which is allowed. But besides that, they move him back 5 yards to midfield.
Jack Raminger is the senior 6'2", 200-plus pounder that jumped off sides and got away with it. So, like you said, brings up another mistake by Ripon.
See if they can correct this one. There's Olsen again. There's the pitch out. Nice clear block there. And he'll get a couple yards back. He was running to the short side of the field towards us. So not a lot of room to use that speed to get out there. But Brett Bach was out there with a nice clear out block for him.
Dave Johnson has been texting me, and I'll tell you, he said that he hasn't heard me read that much since high school. Now I know he's not telling the truth because, I was always out in the hallway for being disciplined for talking. So.
Dave, we're keeping him awake here. I'm sure he slept a little bit in class, or in the hallway when they put you out there.
I didn't do that. I was always trying to entertain.
Well, of course. There's the motion, setting up on the far side. Stelmacher looking. He gets the ball. He'll go to the wide side. Got some blockers out there, but Kiel just filtered right in. And
the pursuit,
he'll lose a yard.
Hit and get by the defense met him at the point of where he wanted to turn it upfield and square his shoulder pads, and it was just a white wall of bodies.
That's a good way to explain it out there. Brings up 3rd and 14 for the Tigers.
Raiders suited up 29 players tonight. Ripon's probably right around that same number.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting next week to see how many Berlin has. I think it's mandatory you go out for football if you're over there in high school.
There's a lot of programs that are just, regardless, fill in the blank for that sport, and that's what they do.
Yep. Joe Stellmacher does a good job over there.
He does a great job.
And getting a delay of game.
Yep.
Boy, I thought that was a little quick, but.
Well, since the guy that called it was 30 yards from the line of scrimmage, I'm sure he didn't see that. I got to believe it was delay of game. He could see the clock, but not much else.
Well, he uses his own little clock. They got a little button they push and it vibrates when the time elapses, because we don't use the field clocks here in high school.
See the Kiel fans over there in the corner directly across from us?
Actually, those are Ripon High School.
Those are
students.
Ripon High School? They go to the enemy side?
Yeah, we got a group over here, too.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't know it was neon night, otherwise I'd have dressed appropriately.
I thought it was a National Crossing Guard convention.
Well, getting ready for back to school next week.
Practice.
Here we go, 3rd and 14. Bradley looking downfield, tosses that one out.
Maybe.
Got the catch. Stellmacher. Nice job as he brings it down to about the 22-yard line.
What a beautiful pass and between the double team by the sophomore Bradley, the quarterback, and concentration by Stellmacher to watch that into his hands. Nothing wrong with the coverage. It was just better offense.
He was blanket defense on that one, and now, Bradley just put it where it needed to be.
Challenge for Ripon is to put a series of good plays together.
This is a drive you want to get some points on the board. Nothing there, cuts it back up.
No.
You'll get a few yards there.
Good yards.
Pick up about 4.
Maybe more, maybe 5, which is great on 1st and 10, particularly this early in the year for this offensive unit. To get that on 1st and 10 is what you need, especially coming off of that big pass play.
Well, and that makes it so much easier on 2nd and 5 calling it here.
Once again, we're back to that, 4.5?
Yeah, it's
here we go.
Just kind of in between out there, but
confidence right now is going to be beaming with this unit. I'll tell you. Doesn't guarantee anything, but they're going to be playing harder.
Hahn on the delay, and he runs east and west, and you can't do that. You got to go forward. You got to pound it.
Great tackle. What a great tackle that was.
Yeah, it looked like a rodeo out there, bulldogging. So Hahn will lose 5. Bring up 3rd down.
With a running back like that, I would not go wide solo.
No.
Solo anyway. I mean, I want a pulling guard or two, and then let him square up with his shoulders.
Olsen.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, he had nothing there except white shirts.
Ripon offensive line trying to, their problem is sustaining a block.
Brett Bach took his guy and just drove him about 8 yards deep in that defensive backfield, but he was the only one. So it'll bring up 4th down, and we're looking at about 16.
So the inability to put a series of good plays together, they had the long pass from Bradley to Stellmacher, and then about a 3.5-yard run on 1st and 10 by Olsen, and then from there they went the wrong direction.
So they are in a punt formation.
I would. Defense is playing well. It's a 3-point game.
Nice little pooch kick there.
See where it goes out.
It's going to go out somewhere around the 15, 16.
That's good. Inside the 20, if that's the case. Good
That's
job
effective.
by Olsen.
6:19 to go here in the first half. Kiel with the lead 3-0 as they scored on their first possession with a field goal.
Celebrating 125 years of community banking. Building a solid reputation as a mortgage lending leader, offering lending choices to fit your best options. Huracan Bank, the natural choice. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, and NMLS ID is 434805.
So Kiel will start 1st and 10, ball on the 16-yard line. Straight handoff, up the middle.
Good job defense.
Yeah, slowed him down, just couldn't quite bring him down. That was Brett Bach back there, but slowed him down enough to get some other Tigers in there.
Oh, yeah. He did his job.
0 yards gained on that play.
That's a great job by the defense. You know, and that was the issue last week, too. We were talking about, well, the defense did this, they did that last week in that losing effort. The problem was if you did time of possession, the defense was just playing too long on the field. So this would be a nice change right here for them to do a 3-and-out. They have punted once. That was their last possession, I think.
That it was. Little fumble there, no pressure on him.
Oh,
Hit him. Still spinning and going.
no.
Finally, you get him down here. The crowd yelling, hit him.
And you don't want to, on a play like that, man, you don't want an arm tackle. You want to level the guy.
Yeah, you want to just lay him out.
But to tell you that, look how long from the time it was fumbled, and then he tried to pick it up, and then it squirted out of his hands again, and then he picked it up, and there still wasn't a black jersey there.
Yeah, he picked it up on the 4-yard line and got back to the 10.
Wow.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 16. Ball is sitting on the 10-yard line.
3rd and 20 plus would have been nicer.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
guess
a black
greedy.
jersey recovery.
We're greedy.
That's a handoff up the middle. Nice job hitting up there. Ball pops out.
That was a quarterback keeper. That was like a read option.
Yeah.
And he
had
kept
the
it.
option
He wrote his up back and then just pulled it out and kept it. And that was obviously the wrong thing to do. Ripon defense with back-to-back really nice plays.
So it brings up a punting situation, 4th and 16.
Things turning in Ripon's favor. Haven't talked about field position, but this is going to be in Ripon's favor for sure. Things go according to plan.
He'll be kicking from about the goal line by the time he gets rid of it. That's just an end over end. And it will take a Ripon bounces. It's down at the 39-yard line. Stellmacher did the smart thing and backed out of there, so that was good to see. Make the long drive this season with confidence all year long. Get ready for your next road trip with Goodyear tires from Cliffs Tire and Battery, West Fond du Lac Street, Ripon.
Drive your favorite teams to the game with Lamers Bus Lines. Lamers is now hiring school bus drivers. Great pay, flexible schedules, complete driver training, and bonus up to $1,500. Apply in person or at golamers.com/careers. Lamers Bus.
Let's see if the Tigers can do something here as their defense held the Raiders. Olsen in motion. Bradley keeps it.
Play action pass.
Oh, in the
Dropped
hands
it.
and dropped out there.
Those are sometimes difficult, just a little below the waist.
Yep.
Definitely catchable by the young man. And he saw what everybody else saw. He catches that and hauls it in. He can turn up field and run till the cows come home.
He could make some very serious yardage there.
And what cows are doing on the football field, I haven't a clue. But the point is, a lost opportunity brings up 2nd and 10.
Well, they say the grass is always greener on the other side of the 50-yard line, so.
Yeah, the turf.
Right.
It's always green.
2nd and 10 here. Fumble, and Bradley takes a knee right away.
Yep, smart.
Yep.
About the time you try to gather yourself and stand up, you get popped.
And then you lose the ball and makes it a worse situation. So it'll bring up 3rd and roughly about 13 for the Tigers.
Want to give a shout out to Rube and Bev Yonke.
Yep.
They come through every year. They love their high school sports, big supporters.
Big Tiger fans. Here we go. Bradley with the cadence. There's the motion. And that's going nowhere at all. Big loss.
So much for a short field for the Tigers.
Yeah, there was just nothing there.
Well, they just wanted to make room for the punter, evidently. But
Yeah,
with a good kick here and some containment, they could still put their defense in a good situation. Remember this, Coach Bradley in his discussion with the local newspaper reporter indicated that special teams are definitely an above average ability on this visiting team as well. So keep that in mind.
High kick and a short one.
Yeah, let's see how this bounces.
Tiger roll
Got
down to
some
the
help.
20. You'll take that. 2:26 to go here in the first half. Kiel Raiders leading the Ripon Tigers 3-0 on your Heidel House scoreboard.
That play right there that just took place where the ball just came to a rest and then the receiving team grabbed it.
Yep.
There was that famous play in the ESPYs, the kid from Beloit College a couple decades ago. They were the receiving team. The ball just came dead and no one touched it. The kid just picked it up really quick and ran for it for a touchdown.
Yep.
While the punting coverage team
Was leaving the field.
they got caught with it. They got caught with But so he got an ESPY for that on ESPN.
That'd be in the early days of the ESPYs. So here we go. Straight handoff off the right side. Big hole.
See, that kind of power running will wear a defense down, where they're able to somewhat contain them. That, by the time you're middle of the third, it's a different story. Then those arm tackles are very difficult to make. Next thing you know, the guy is running 65 yards.
So it's an 8-yard pickup here, 2nd and 2. Just hitting the 2-minute warning here in the first half.
Ripon playing straight up defense there, no blitzing.
Looking to pass, wide open down the middle once again. Just has to wait for this one and drops the ball.
Well,
Oh
people,
my God.
Howard, we said this last week too. That kid for Watertown Luther
Yeah.
Prep, he wasn't that open, but he had to wait for the ball and dropped it. Those are the toughest catches. The ones that come in where you athletically just instinctively reach out, catch it,
and
go.
keep going, yeah.
There's no time to think about it. And when you have to turn around, that kid could have had, 2 Johnsonville brats on a Sheboygan hard roll in Plymouth that I'm going to do in a couple of weeks.
With onions, ketchup, and mustard.
Yes, and he could have done that for all the time he had to wait.
Yeah, Lipke's
So
just got to be beating himself up.
I give the kid a break.
So it brings up 3rd and 2.
Ripon does blitz on the right edge.
This time they keep it on the ground. Big hole to the left.
Yeah, they cut inside that blitzer.
And they turn around and get it up to the 34-yard line, first down. Clock will stop long enough to move the chains. And they wind it up here. If the Tigers can hold them here, that would be huge. And not letting them score.
Well, it's 1st and 10, so they got some work ahead of them.
Clock is at 2:25. Looking to go down
Pressure.
field.
Look at this. He'll keep it. No gain.
Olson
Nice.
comes up there and prevents him from turning upfield.
Forward progress will still be about a 3-yard loss?
That's going to be somewhere around
Good news. Great fill by Olson when he realized he was going to tuck and run. He let go of his intended receiver and went for it as we get a timeout.
Timeout at the 1:14 mark here. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement deserves more attention, Edward Jones can help. Stop by and see your local Edward Jones financial advisor, Greg DeGalovich, at 121 Watson Street, or Shade Horton at 1098 West Fond du Lac Street. Learn more. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Hillside Dental Associates in Ripon has been offering a complete range of premium dental care for over 35 years, including preventative hygiene, cosmetic, and restorative procedures, along with Invisalign and sedation dentistry. That's Hillside Dental Associates in Ripon.
Buttsine Merchant, serving local families with grace and compassion since 1896.
That's a long time.
That is.
A long time. That's 20 years after Custer bought it. Seriously, 1876, I think.
And,
or maybe, 1876, actually less than that.
Well, they would have given Custard a good send-off with grace and dignity, that's for sure.
Right. And now we have Culver's Custard, so it's gotten better. It's on the full circle.
So 1:14 to go here. It is 2nd and 12. Looking to pass.
Good pressure.
Lipke out to the side.
Oh, good hit
It's
on
a
the
duck.
release.
Oh, we're going to get a flag. Olson.
Boy,
Olson
these guys.
grabbed him.
Yeah, a lot of penalties here in the first half. A lot of
And we got a
penalties.
flag back here also by the quarterback.
Yeah.
So was there a hold there?
No,
We don't know.
it was Pat. Whether it was pass interference or not, I don't know. But it's going to go against Ripon. I watched him throw that into the where the intended receiver was. Great hit on the quarterback. Nothing wrong with that.
Chop block against Kiel. Pass interference against Ripon.
Oh, offset.
And they'll offset him, and we'll redo it again. The only thing we lose is 7 seconds on the clock. So a break there for the Tigers.
A lot of penalties, a lot of clock stoppage in this game.
So far, yeah.
Second half last week, tons of penalties. Mostly on the home team.
Yep, the Phoenix definitely had to have a record set there last week. Single receiver on the near side in motion. Going to quarterback keeper. Somebody's got to come up.
Great decision by the quarterback.
Hey,
that was a bunch formation offensively. Everybody went to the right. Everybody bid on it on the fake handoff. And then the quarterback snuck out the back door on a naked bootleg. And to the defensive Ripon's credit, they did a good job of minimizing the yardage.
They did, and they came up and filled a big dead space up there that the quarterback saw, and that's why he hung on to it.
Connor Faust, one of the famous Connors.
the Connor trios. Hometown Radio is your local source for news, weather, and sports. Tune in and team up every morning with Bob Nelson to find out what's happening in your area.
So, Fusion Heating and Cooling, the area's newest family-oriented Trane dealer, offers service on all manufacturers' brands and specializes in providing solutions for all of your home comfort needs. Getting the job professionally done and on time. Fusion Heating and Cooling, servicing Ripon and surrounding areas.
Had the Fusion family in the store today. They were gearing up for the Tiger game tonight. So we have 57 seconds to go here in the first half. And Kiel will have 3rd and 6.
It's imperative Ripon keeps them off the board. To go in down by less than a touchdown at halftime will be a big plus for this Ripon unit.
I agree. To show that you can play with these guys. Long snap, looking. There's the quick out pass. Stubbe.
First down.
Catches that one, yep. For the first down, he'll get to the 47. That was a nice quick outlet pass.
Reed Lipke, the 6-foot senior, caught that ball.
And that was the situation that you talked about. All athletic, catch and go, not think or anything, and he did a good job on that one, yeah. Quick pass going out.
Nice hit.
Nice hit out there.
And good job to hang on to the ball as well. So brings up a short 2nd and 2. So open up their passing game now. Short to moderate. We've seen back-to-back plays in terms of distance. They've been not successful on the long ones. A couple overthrows on the deep ones, and then a drop one on the one that we were talking about earlier by that same young man, that senior, Reed Lipke.
Well, they've turned around and kind of had to go to the air a little bit as the clock is ticking down, and they want to put it in the end zone or at least get another opportunity at a field goal.
They tied the game, trailing the Kewanee Storm 7-0 in the second quarter. They tied it on a pass to Connor, I think it was Connor Meyer, the young man that also had the winning touchdown.
The running back there. So here we go. It's 2nd and 2. Ball is sitting on the 45 of the Tigers.
Ripon coming off the edge again with a
quick
blitz.
Snap,
the
looking to go deep.
Perkins. Wobbly.
Tosses it up.
Good defensive position by number 10, is that?
That is. Number 10
Ripon.
out there.
Great job.
Stubbe out there
Great
defending
job.
on the corner.
Stubbe-dooby-doo. Great coverage. That ball slipping out of that quarterback's hands, it looks like, doesn't it?
And he got hit just as he released it. So a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, that was by the sophomore, our buddy number 5 again. I like his game, Perkins.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
I checked before the game, no relation to the family restaurant chain. trying to work for a meal. Here he is again, Perkins, hitting
Had
the
to get rid of
quarterback.
it. Yep.
And you can give Perkins the credit for that
He
missed
forced that.
opportunity. Yep.
So it'll bring up 4th down, and
That's good. That's good recognition. Defensive coordinator for the Tigers, I can only assume, and say, hey, you know what? Perkins is. Let's get him up on the edge here, and let's get an extra guy that can't be accounted for by the offensive unit, and he's getting them back there really quick. He's got a real nice explosive step, and he likes hitting quarterbacks. Those are 2 things we've learned here in the last couple of minutes of the first half.
17 seconds on the clock here. It is 4th and 2. This is one I think he's just going to roll out, and if it's not there, going deep.
Looks like a punt.
And Stellmacher intercepts it. And he'll be brought down at the 20. And there'll be 5 seconds left on the clock here in the first half. And the Tiger defense, what a great stand.
Yep, Stellmacher, great nose for the ball, both offensively and defensively. He did that last season, if you recall, as well. Nice athlete.
To me, it kind of looked like he was going back for a ball hit in center field as he did last spring.
I thought he was going to fair catch a punt.
So the Tigers here will turn around and take a knee, which is the right call here, and go into halftime only down by 3. And a great effort here by the Tigers as just giving up that lone field goal in the first quarter.
And that was set up really on a short field. So I think the defense just played masterfully for the Tigers. And the offense has shown signs of some brilliance here on some nice long offensive plays, both through the air and on the ground with a little trickery. I think that kind of gives you some confidence going into the locker room if you're the host team.
Well, turn around, and as I said, the score is Kiel 3, Ripon 0 at halftime. We'll be back for the halftime report in 10 minutes on the Ripon Channel and the Wave.
Just somewhere cheap.
Want a cheap date? Go with Carter.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to halftime at Ingalls Field, where the Kiel Raiders lead your Ripon Tigers 3-0 on the Heidel House scoreboard at the half. A few stats that I got a hold of for the Tigers. Bradley, the quarterback, is 3 for 6 for 58 yards. Gannon Stellmacher has 35 all-purpose yards. And the leading tackler for the Tigers is Mr. Hop with 6. So, and then the interception for Stellmacher to end out that first half to keep the score 3-0. The update on Kai Agamite is a high ankle injury, so they're going to sit him down the rest of this game, which is probably a good thing, as it is only a non-conference game, and get him ready for next week with the Berlin Indians, as we'll all be traveling over there and seeing a great game, as Coach Joe Stellmacher always has his Indians prepared for the Tigers, as it is one of the longest running rivalries in Wisconsin high school history. So with that, I'll turn around and bring in my partner here, Marty Ernster. And Marty, turn around and
hey,
great.
Things started out slow for Ripon,
Yeah.
offensively in particular, and I think defensively they just had to kind of get adjusted, kind of fix their helmet a little bit maybe, and they settled in defensively. I was really glad to see what Ripon did to hold a team that we've never beaten. We're 0-5 against this ball club through the years since 2016, 2015, and hold them to a field goal. We talked about that towards the end of the first half. Offensively, it's their inability to get a rhythm, an offensive rhythm, primarily due to blocking. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Well, that pursuit and defensively coming through that line.
Well, they can't sustain. Well, that's what I'm saying. They can't block. They can't sustain with any type of regularity. If you look at the success Ripon's had, it's been play action pass, and it's been a little misdirection. And they can't say, here we come up between the tackles. They're not a team that can do that at this stage. So, but the important thing is what's on the scoreboard, and I think what's going on probably between the Ripon Tigers, what's going on between their ears. I think there has to be a substantial amount of confidence going in and coming out of that locker room a little bit ago. And the important thing is they don't get too impressed with themselves, because I think Kiel's a team that's going to be going in there going, hey, wait a minute, guys. If we were to look at know what the stats were on the ground and so forth, and we're only up by 3 points.
Yeah.
So
they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
You got to come out, You got to come out if you're Ripon, and I'm glad, because it's the Ripon defense that seems to be spearheading this team's effort. So,
and we saw that last week too. So
yeah, we did.
That's definitely the strong side of the Tigers. But
I think you're just gonna. I don't think Kiel's gonna do anything different. I think they're just gonna come out a little more impassioned, and the Ripon defense will have to be ready for that. Meet it with equal force and aggressiveness. And if they come out aggressive, that they being Ripon, I think, and hold their own, I think that's going to be huge. Meanwhile, for the offense, I think it's just going to take a series of plays and maybe some more games for them to
get the rhythm of playing together.
Yeah, try to get comfortable with a guy on either side of you up on that offensive line, and learning what you can and can't do.
And that's the good thing about the preseason games.
And then stay away from the penalties also. If you're Ripon, when you're basically the underdog in a football game, you can't do anything to yourselves to diminish your chances to win.
Well,
so stay away from the penalties and the miscues.
And we saw that the one big play brought back due to a penalty, which the Tigers had some momentum going on that one, and it seemed to just kind of cook their goose, as they say, after that one.
And then the offsetting penalties, the chop block, illegal chop block, which is below the knees usually when another player is occupying him. And that would have been 15 yards against Kiel, but Ripon got caught with pass interference. So, yep, Ripon's going to kick off. By the way, next time Kiel does kick off, and let's hope that's not following a touchdown if you're a Ripon fan, take a look how far back that kicker goes. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
His running start.
Gets some momentum going.
Looks like he's a long jumper.
And Cameron
kick.
Hahn kicks that off. It'll be taken at the 19-yard line, up across the 30,
To the 40.
and brought down, we're going to say 40.
Yep.
That's where they're going to put the knee down, yep. So the Kiel Raiders will take over at the 40-yard line. A good kick there by Cameron Hahn. And we'll see what the Tiger defense can do here on this opening drive. Shutting them down would be huge, momentum-wise.
That's a good 5-man front offensively for Kiel.
It's a big offensive front for sure.
They're good. They usually do have good offensive line play.
Quick handoff,
Breaks
bounces it out. Yeah, nice job. Still got room. Gets across midfield and brought down close to the. Not even. No,
Look at that.
I thought he
Look
stepped
at
out there,
that.
but he cut back.
I think the Ripon defense thought that too. He got another 10 yards after I think the defense thought the play was over. Give him a 20-plus yard gain.
Down to the 38.
Ouch.
Huge play.
That was off tackle. He bounced it to the outside and outraced Ripon defense to the edge.
That was Connor Meyer, the ball carrier.
He's their workhorse in the backfield.
He's just built like a running back, you know. He's got that low profile
Well,
and
he's
big
5'8",
legs.
but he's a thick guy.
Give it to the odd man coming around. Everybody got sucked inside to Meyer. And a saving tackle there.
Well, I was, that little bit that I talked about Ripon coming out of the locker room feeling good about themselves.
Pounding their chest a little bit, as they say.
Yeah. And,
That's cost them on two big plays.
a little more of a angry hornet's nest coming out with the opposition, with the visitors' locker room. In 2 plays, they've marched that from the 40-yard, their own 40, down to about the 20-yard line of Ripon.
Straight handoff. There's Meyer again. Kicks it back outside as nothing was on the inside. And
Riley Nickel almost had him for no gain around the shoestrings.
just
And,
couldn't quite pull him down.
Yeah. Legs are stronger than the arms.
So the second down ball on the 10-yard line. 4 to go for the first. Glad to have you along here on the Ripon channel. If you like what you're hearing with Marty and myself, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ripon channel.
Up the middle.
Yep.
And much better job of closing it down by the Tiger defense. He was tackled by, I think, Hop, number 80.
That it was. And Brett Bach also in there on the initial hit. So it'll bring up 3rd and 4 as we have single receivers to the left and right. Just give it to him, let him go around the end. Big hole.
Wow, what great blocking.
Take it down to the 3-yard line.
They pulled both guards over the left side, and the guards did their job. That reminds me of Chipman
Oh, and we have a down player.
and Timmons, as we have a down visitor, Raider.
Yeah, those were 2 great guards for the Tigers.
Well, and it was that offense, that style of
Yep.
offense was perfect for those 2 undersized guards, but very quick-footed guards for Ripon back in the day.
Webster's Marketplace in Ripon is proud to partner with Hometown Broadcasting and support Ripon Tiger Athletics. Thank you for shopping Webster's Marketplace, your locally owned and operated grocery store since 1987, Highway 23 West in Ripon.
For a truly delicious lunch or evening dinner plan, visit to Pastimes Pub and Grill. Carol's homemade soups are always available, along with a great variety of sandwiches, awesome burgers and salads. Be sure to try their popular baby back ribs, available Saturday evenings. If you enjoy cooking, stop in and apply at Pastimes Pub and Grill, downtown Ripon. In the perfect world, that would be me applying for the job, cook the meal, sit down, eat the meal, and then be paid to do that. That's what makes America still a great country.
That's right. Only you would think of that, Marty.
Carol,
All right.
great person, by the way.
Oh, and makes great soups. I'm over there at least 3 times a week gathering up their soups. And so it'll turn around and player is up. It's 1st and goal. Ball is on the 3-yard line here.
need a stop. Around the left end, and he's in.
Not even touched.
On both feet. So the Ripon defense wasn't ready to start the second half, and the offense was. I mean, those were, how many plays did they run? I'm going to say about 5.
Yep.
5 plays to go 60 yards, all on the ground, I believe.
And Daniel Schmidt waltzes in for the touchdown.
I thought it was more of a foxtrot, but I'll go with, you got the binoculars, so I'll go with the waltz.
Well, he had a little sidestep there, so it could have been a waltz as he spun.
It's going to be interesting now what Ripon's going to do. How do they respond to the first touchdown scored in the game against them? Short snap, and it's blocked.
So a break there for the Tigers as they get that to keep it at 9. So a little bit of work here as the Tigers will come out with their first offensive possession. We believe a company like a family is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out walrus.com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School.
Next time you're heading out for breakfast or lunch, visit Mr. and Mrs. P's Eatery. Their menu includes many different scratch-made, professionally prepared entrees. End your meal with a delectable dessert from their in-house bakery. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Mr. and Mrs. P's, Fond du Lac Street in Ripon.
So ready here to back for the kickoff for the Tigers. Now, you made the comment about the young man, how far he runs for Kiel to kick that ball. That is simple.
About as long as I've seen someone go back. Most guys go back 5 yards, roughly, with that soccer-style kick that everybody pretty much does. Not too many straightaway guys.
Now he's back good 10 yards.
Oh, he's going to go back 11.
Nope, his foot's on the 30. It's only 10.
If it works.
And a booming kick.
His best of the night. He must have heard us.
Got to pick it up and go with it. And that's going nowhere as he'll be down at about the 5-yard line. So
nice weapon, that kick.
That one is one you should have just let sail over your head.
What a boomer. Yep, you got to have presence. You got to know what yard line am I on and where's that ball? Is it above my waist, above my head?
The odds are
easier said than done.
Yep, and a young ball player out there in that position. So Tigers will take over 1st and 10.
Tough
ball
start.
On the 5.
Tough real estate to have to go this long.
Yeah, 95 yards. As Kiel just scored. 9-0 with 9:35 to go here in the third on your Heidel House scoreboard. Ripon will send out 2 receivers, single left, single right. Now we get a second one kicking up to the top side. Kiel adjusts their defense.
Around
Olsen, nowhere.
Yeah,
got back to the line of scrimmage.
Ran 12 yards just for no gain. Once again, those plays as we see a player down, a Ripon player. Those types of plays, no matter what you're running with your O's and your X's, but if you're not blocking at the point of attack, you're not going to be effective.
And it is Olsen down.
Yeah,
so
it appears
keep
to
an
be
eye on that.
Appears to be down in the leg area.
I was hoping maybe it was a cramp with the humidity in that here, but we'll see what happens with that.
Well, did you know that, are you looking for a new career? The Smuckers facility in Ripon needs you as part of their team. That's right. Starting wages over $20 per hour. That's not bad stuff.
No.
Full benefits effective day 1. That is unusual. That is not standard. And a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Apply online, www.smuckerscareers.com.
Well, Olsen gets up and comes off under his own power, but he does have a little hitch in his giddy up there. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Riley Eisnagel supplying to his broadcast team very average humor.
It's early preseason. It's preseason.
Good
so
point.
He's got to get into form.
Yeah, and he missed, and he played hooky last week.
So quarterback Bradley will turn around and bring his team up.
Now, do you think Riley will be at Plymouth when they do those Johnsonville brats with Sheboygan hard rolls?
I heard he had money budgeted this year for that.
Look,
and a nice run. Stelmacher still
what
going.
an effort. What an effort
Cuts
by
it
Cannon
back in, still
Stelmacher.
going.
Slippery. Oh, my, what a great effort.
And we got 2 Kiel players down, along with a flag back at the
no, please.
At the 10-yard line, 9-yard line.
And that's thrown in a holding area, and that's what it is against Ripon.
Another big run.
I can't help but think of that run last year when, was it Cameron, had that big run off the left on his own for a touchdown. It ran about 65 yards, brought back with a holding call.
And that be the call, and they'll back that up. That'll be half the distance to the goal there. So it'll put the ball just inside the 5. And it looks like it might just be a cramp here on this side for the Kiel player, and that's a good thing to see.
I talked last week, you look at the size of Cameron these days, and, he could play D-line easily.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he does.
Yep.
And as opposed to running back all the time. And I would see his brother at
Carter?
the golf course, Carter, and I made that comment. I don't care if he's the older brother. You know who's getting
the last pork chop.
The last pork chop at the dinner table.
Well, if you look at Carter's hands, you see these marks on the top from the forks.
Well, say no more. Say more. Those aren't birthmarks, folks, and it's not from a junkyard dog.
Right. So here we go. It will be second. We're going to get a timeout, official timeout, as we're still waiting for the player to go off the field.
Boy, I'll tell you, he's a little shaken up.
Well, Chris Schatzschneider was stretching him out, so it made me think of cramp here. And it's easy on a night like tonight not to drink enough fluids because it's warm. And, these guys are young and invincible, at least they think, and don't think of the consequences. So here we go. 2nd and 11 after the penalty. And Hahn will pick up a few yards. So it'll bring up 3rd.
9-0 here in the third quarter at Ingalls Field in Ripon. Non-conference action with the Raiders from Kiel. Kiel is successful in all 5 endeavors, I should say, against Ripon over the years in these matchups.
They've had some really good teams.
Yep.
So 3rd down and 7. Motion there. Kiel adjusts their line. Bradley back. Got to get rid of it. Gets it off.
It's got him.
Comes back to the ball like a good receiver. And will get the first down.
And boy, I tell you, is that Stelmacher again. He's turned into quite the receiver. He really goes after the ball. He might be a little undersized stature when you look at the roster, but he's athletic enough and smart enough as a receiver. That's an example right there. Not only does he go airborne for it, but he seals off he uses his back, seals off the defender. There was at least 2 white jerseys there, maybe 3.
There was, and he turned around and came back to the ball.
Yep.
Which was a huge difference there and brings up that first down. Ball is on the 26-yard line.
We should say nice toss by the sophomore quarterback for the Tigers, Bradley.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good there. Goes around the right side.
Picking
still
his
trying,
way.
just slipping and sliding. Picks up about 3.
Yeah, turned a negative play into a positive play.
So turn around and make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, we're seeing some different actors here with Olsen out.
Well, like you say, you're 1 play away from being a starter. You got to be ready.
It wasn't in the old days. If you were a sophomore and you're playing varsity, you were a special player.
You were a stud.
And nowadays, it's a necessity.
Here's the motion. Fake the handoff. Bradley looking to pass again. Steps up. Nice job. Works himself around. He's got to get rid of it. No, he's going to hang on to it. Oh, I think he just learned you don't stay upright.
Well, you put the brakes on, and your momentum doesn't allow you to make a cut when you're on your heels. That was a good pop. Nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
Good play.
Straight on.
Good
chest
hit.
to chest hit.
Good hit.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 5. So Tigers looking to do something here.
Yeah, you got yards out of it. Very makeable situation here. Ball spotted just beyond their own 30-yard line, needing, like you said, 5 to keep the drive alive. Trailing 9-0 here in the third quarter with just over 6 minutes remaining in the third.
There's the motion. Fake to Stelmacher. Back to pass. Over the middle. And a little
Hop.
too high. Hop
Yep.
could not get at that.
No. Good job, though, not to throw the interception. And he was hit on that release.
Now we got to look and see who's going to do the punting here if Olsen is out.
Well, you always have a backup punter.
And we haven't seen. Oh, Olsen's going out there. He says to heck with it.
Yep.
Definitely a gamer.
Well, they got number 3 back there now.
That's Olsen.
Oh, that's right. I'm looking at Perkins, number 5. I'm all locked in.
Kiel quickly goes back into receiving formation.
I didn't realize Perkins was that much taller.
Nice punt. Heading to the sideline. That's going to go out around that 45.
Yep, that's exactly right. Let's see if the referees got it right. We have the advantage
He's still
sitting
walking.
up there.
Still walking. And he's going to make us both look bad and mark it at the 47.
No, that's 2 yards. Town this size, 2 yards is fine.
5:54 to go here in the third. 9-0 Kiel on top on your Heidel House scoreboard.
Ripon defense has to settle in now. They can't let happen what did. You know, they can figure out how to get a score here. They're right back in the game. Down 2 scores now.
The last scoring drive was 3 big plays out of their plays that made the big difference there. So
on the ground, done by 3 different players.
Quick handoff. This one will kick off the right side again, bouncing around. Good job by the Tigers. He'll pick up a couple yards, get close to midfield. They will give him the 2 yards there. So he'll be at the 50-yard line. And if this was Canadian football, it'd be the 55. That's a throw out to my buddy Aaron Kramer.
Berlin playing non-conference with Wautoma tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That game's being called on, I think, what is it, 102.3, the Bug? Or
That it is. Wayne Mauser calling that one over there.
Yeah. Talked to him and his wife last Saturday. They were over at Green Lake during that festival. Or was that 2 weeks ago? Maybe that was 2 Saturdays ago.
Back to pass, quick out pass.
Boom. Oh no, you got to make that.
You gotta hit him. And that's a waltz in, no flags, and a touchdown.
Yeah. What you got to do, you got to come across the body, using your body, come across his body. He had no idea that the defender was there when he caught that and turned, and you got to use that to your advantage.
Tried wrapping him up with the arms instead of the body.
That's exactly right. And if you're not a real gifted physical player to begin with, size-wise, you got to use more of your body. So that's a tough way to learn a lesson.
50-yard touchdown pass there for the Raiders. I'm surprised they're not going for 2 here.
Yeah.
Well, good chance to work on it because you know you got a leg in the kicker. So turn around at the 4:57 mark here in the third. It is 16-0 Kiel on top. Your Heidel House scoreboard. Celebrating 125 years of community banking, committed to providing excellent customer service in support of local businesses, community, and individual financial growth. Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Hey, did you know what? Did you know that the bakery and deli teams at Webster's Marketplace, as always, cooking up good food for you. Did you know that? Your family to enjoy breads, buns, cakes, and of course the signature donuts, hand-cut daily to out delis, and roasted chicken, delicious dips, full line of meats to you to take home and enjoy. Webster's Marketplace, Highway 23 West in Ripon. What they're telling you, folks, is you can do a lot of food that's already made for you. Grab it, take it home, and sit down and listen and watch us live streaming.
There you go. And if you like what you're hearing, definitely turn around and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel, the Ripon channel. Glad to have you come along for the whole season. There's another big boot, and Stelmacher, you can... They're calling it a touchback. Lucky break there for the Tigers. I thought he touched it at the 1 and carried it into the end zone.
Well, the ref's right there.
Yeah, so Ripon will take over at the 20 as they trail by 16 here. See if the offense can get something going.
Right now, the way things are going, Kiel is going to go to 2-0 non-conference.
If it stays this way, yep.
By the way, they are members of the Eastern Wisconsin Conference. Other teams in that conference are New Holstein, Chilton Brilliant, Ron Colley, Two Rivers, Central Wisconsin Christian, and Valders.
And we're going to get a false start on the Tigers. So that'll mark them back 5. Not the direction you want to go here. Yeah, they got some good teams over in that conference, and that was another conference that had some realignment.
Congratulations go out to the boys soccer team last Tuesday at Berlin. I said, Berlin? Yeah. Always, never, ever lose to Berlin. Hear that, Dave Johnson? Never lose to Berlin.
That's the whole theme of Ripon High School. You can lose to everybody.
They took them to the woodshed in soccer 5-0. Now they're missing, I think, 4 starters of a year ago.
They've got
according
a good young...
to Coach Steve, is it Nankervis?
Mm-hmm. He
haven't met him.
Very nice gentleman. Been in the store several times. There we go, over there in the air, and
nice job.
And we're going to get the flag. He was holding his arm as he went to knock the ball down.
25 did a great job with his right hand knocking the ball, slapping it. But what you're saying, he had his left hand draped on his back.
Yeah.
So let's see what the official, if agrees with you, and that it wasn't offensive. But congratulations to the boys soccer team. So that's how they started with their inaugural contest. Now they go back to Berlin, but that's not necessarily to play Berlin. It's an invitational. That'll be tomorrow. Their first game's at 9 a.m. versus the Amarillo Foxes, former members of our East Central Conference. The winner there will advance to the semis. The loser will obviously go to the consolation bracket. So Ripon soccer future is looking good right now.
Steve's got a
they got a
good program in there.
Yeah, they got a taste of those regionals last year.
Yep. Quick handoff to the big guy running north, and he'll pick up a good 4 yards.
Yeah, and he got a 5. And he had a little space. He had a chance to get 3 steps before contact, and he's a load, to say the very least. Right?
Yeah.
Girls volleyball, they're opening their season as we speak. They're playing tonight in the Dells, and as well as tomorrow at a big invitational. So that's what's going on with Tracy Landerman's crew.
Yeah, the Dells Invitational is a good one, she always says down there.
And then they head up to Marshfield for another big invite. That's an overnighter as well.
A lot of traveling for the Lady Tigers there.
That's the way they do it. She does it.
Another one bounces out.
Bounced it.
Got to turn it up. He'll pick up a yard, maybe 2.
And
here come the flags.
And Coach Brent Sanderfoot. Wow, what a start. We talked about the girls' tennis team for the Tigers. They graduated every singles starter of a year ago, but they had like 17 girls come out this year. And what they brought back, along with the infusion of the new talent, their first 4 dual matches, they went 3-1. A week ago on Tuesday, they beat Kiel. Ever hear of them? They beat the Raiderettes 5-2 here at Ripon. One of the things that impressed Coach Sanderfoot as they're marking off the penalty, was number 4 Seagulls player Selena Lopez. Spent 3 years playing volleyball for Landerman, came out, and she was down big early on, and then she came back and won at the number 4 singles. And then you got the number 1 singles player, Ingelshin Schlitt, and she won, and she's off to a great start. And then Ava Nankervis, she did something that nobody else did. Of those 4 dual matches, she won all 4 of those, her individual.
The officials are going to get
matches.
together. Just to interrupt you for a second.
No, go ahead.
There was a 15-yard personal foul penalty on the Tigers.
Yep.
And now the officials want to talk something else over.
Now, last week, Cameron slammed that ball down out of frustration, and he got called for a 15-yard.
And he's the one that just got called for this one.
Yeah. So, and then a week ago, Thursday, Kiwani was playing shorthanded. They had to forfeit a couple, so Ripon swept them 7-0. And then last Friday was the big one. They beat Kakana, the big D1 school, 5-2. What makes that interesting is that Coach Brent Sanderfoot's brother, Brian, is the head coach of that program. And that's the first time that he beat him. They were, I think, 0-2 or 0-3 against him previously. So that's cool.
Bradley faked the handoff to Olsen, hung on to it, and he had 3 white jerseys right in his face.
Yeah.
So it's going to be up 4th and a country mile for the Tigers here.
Yeah, we've had to say that a few times tonight. And with the field position being what it is,
not a good thing.
No.
Olsen will be kicking from maybe about the 8-yard line by the time he lets it go.
Yeah. And that football has had backspin on it. In other words, doing end over end back towards the punter, which means you're catching your toe on the punt. You like to get that spiral going and get more distance out of it, particularly in this circumstance, given the field position for the Tigers.
Confusion out there and a timeout called by the Tigers.
Yeah.
So
that Kakana match was cool. Number 4 sophomore singles, Mackenzie Whitrock, coach was impressed with her against Kakana because she was losing 3-6 in the first set. She came back and won that set and then went on in a tiebreaker to win 10-7 in that tiebreaker. She's just a sophomore. Emma Mott and Schramm, the number 1 doubles, they were down 1-4 in the first set, came back to win 6-4, and then won the second set going away 6-2. The only blemish losing the duel was to Fox Valley Lutheran. They went 3-4 in that, so they're off to a great start. Next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, girls tennis team will travel to our conference foe, Kewaskum, to take on the Indians.
And it looks like the weather's going to be good for that Tuesday. Give them a little bit there. 3:14 to go here in the third quarter on your Heidel House scoreboard. The Kiel Raiders leading the Tigers 16-0. And we're ready to go. Coming out of the timeout. Olsen back to punt. Long count. Bobbles it. Oh, that's not going to come out well.
Nope.
He'll be brought down at about the 14-yard line on the bobbled snap there, so things not going well for the Tigers on this drive.
Well, if you look back at that on film, and it's a prison break-in on him coming from both sides. I'm sure he had to pick his head up wondering, is this thing going to get blocked? Ripon's got to do a better job up front.
That's where it all starts. So 1st and 10, ball sitting on the 14-yard line.
So Ripon defense now put in almost an impossible situation here in the latter stages of the third quarter.
Connor Faust hands off.
Look at
Big
that
hole off the left side.
And that's what
and
happens.
Same thing has happened before. Just a little scamper into the end zone for Daniel Schmidt.
That looked like a walkthrough. We could see the angle from here. That's just a dejected Ripon defense that's played a lot on the field.
That was the same play he scored on.
Off the left side.
Yep,
yeah.
At the 9:43 mark.
Butsine Marchant serving local families with grace and compassion since 1896.
So on to kick the extra point, and that young man has a leg like you wouldn't believe. And
I believe it.
Simple. I mean, it is
I've seen it.
powerful.
And we believe a company like a family is made stronger when differences are embraced and not condemned. Check out Walsworth Corn. I got shadowing here.
I know,
Excuse me.
the shadows are bad.
Oh, my. com/careers. Let's try that again. Check out Walsworth com/careers for hiring opportunities. Proud to support Ripon High School. I have to get this outside of the booth.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. Fortified Bank is growing Wisconsin. One person, one business, one relationship at a time. Visit fortifiedbank.com to see how banking locally is a win for you and your community. FDIC.
Webster's Marketplace features an in-store smokehouse with tasty made fresh right here brats, summer sausage, snack sticks, and more. Bill and our smokehouse team can smoke your venison, fish, or fowl. Webster's Marketplace featuring Webster's Smokehouse, Highway 23 West in Ripon. Webster's Express online ordering for pickup or delivery, safely getting groceries to you and your family.
You ever get a chance, stop down there and talk to Bill in the meat department.
Yeah.
He is one great guy to talk with. So here comes another boot. This one's going to be deep.
Let it go.
He takes it
Why
at the
would-
3-yard line.
Yeah, why would you take that at the 3? Great run,
Stelmacher
though.
gets around the outside.
That's why.
Across the 25 to 30. Got a little bit of room. Couple push him. Cuts it back. Still going. Cross midfield. And going to be driven out of bounds somewhere around
Wow.
the 49, 48-yard line.
My question was answered.
Yeah, why?
I actually thought he took it at the 2, to be honest with you, not the 3. And no flags, just as important.
Exactly.
What an athlete.
Fun young man to be around.
I don't know about that, but I
Oh.
watched him last season. I've watched him this season on the gridiron. He's a football player, plays with a lot of desire.
I got a chance to spend a lot of time with him during the baseball season this past spring, and he's a character. So the Ripon will take over inside Kiel's territory on the 49 with a great return there by Gannon Stelmacher.
Let's
See if they can do something here.
Well, if that can't inspire the offensive unit.
Motion here.
Good blocking.
Nice cut back. And a good run there for about 8-9 yards.
I didn't even watch the ball. I just watched the line. And they occupied. Every offensive lineman occupied a white jersey. That's all you got to do. You don't have to necessarily win the battle. You don't have to pancake your opponent. But you can't let them just shuck you off to the side and let them bend to the ball.
Scrooby with a nice run there picking up. They're going to mark it back and give him just 7 on that.
One of the better blocking efforts I've seen tonight. In fact, it is, collectively.
Okay, what are we waiting for here?
I don't know. This officiating crew has been kind of slow, it seems to me. They've had a lot of conferences. I don't know if WIA has gone to being paid by the hour. And
Not the flag?
Not
Like
the
in
job or
past?
the flag. Yeah.
Okay, bring up 2nd down here. Olsen moves to the near side, wide. Give it to the big guy up the middle. He puts his head down. He'll get close to the 40.
Yep. I do the same thing on the other side next play. Need 2 chances to get less than 2 yards. A little over a yard.
It's a lot easier to have the little guys with the speed run when it's 1st down and be able to hit those outside edges. So it brings up 3rd and a yard for the Tigers.
Mosquitoes are here tonight. I'm disappointed to announce.
Oh, the humidity is
I don't associate mosquitoes with
unbelievable
football season.
No, exactly. I mean, it's supposed to be cool and crisp out there.
I'm wearing my tropical outfit, but
You do look rather damper, you know. Quick hand?
No,
Same thing you said, but he
no.
lost the ball.
it was the play. Same play off the other side.
You had it called right, just couldn't control it.
Yeah, usually what happens is the running back usually is looking in front, see what's happening, what's going on.
Instead of securing the ball.
Yeah.
So a turnover for the Tigers as they had momentum and things rolling.
They were going for a first down there. Would have been 1st and 10, just outside the 40. Now it's going to be 1st and 10, all right.
For the bad guys. Ball sits at the 42-yard line of Kiel. Kiel will start 1st and 10. Last possession scored on a 14-yard scamper off the left side.
Defense has to forget about what just happened and play football here.
There's that same play, kicking it outside again. And his own guy tripped him up.
Ripon looks tired right now. That defense, that play right there, I saw some guys look tired.
They've been out on the field a lot here in the second half. So it will be placed at midfield. It'll be 2nd down and 2 as we're under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter.
See if Ripon defense can get a turnover of their own here.
23-0, Kiel leading Ripon on your Heidel House scoreboard.
2 touchdowns in the second half, in the 3rd quarter, to be more precise, by Kiel. One on the, 5-6 play to start the second half, and then the missed tackle and about a 50-yard touchdown on a simple out pattern down the sidelines.
Nice job of juking and moving as the first down is picked up. Ball will be down to the 42-yard line.
Covering their way up front.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you can start to see the fatigue setting in with the Tiger defensive line.
Well, the whole defensive unit. When I looked at, who had most of the tackles, your secondary last week was making a good amount of tackles. And usually you want that front 7, ideally your linebacking core, DNs and such, to get the majority of them.
Bodie Gruff just checking in for the Tigers, and that's where the 3rd quarter will come to an end. Kiel Raiders leading the Ripon Tigers 23-0. We'll be back on the Ripon Channel and the Wave in 2 minutes. Welcome back as we get ready and start the 4th quarter and run off the right side for Meyer from Kiel.
Yeah, Connor Meyer. He's one of the energizer guys that, they just love to run. You get a little bit of a seal, Howard, and that's what that was. There was no hole. He just ran off the edge and had a nice seal and then just
did the rest himself.
Yeah.
And he'll pick up the first down on that.
That's the thing with football. These guys aren't thinking about what the score is. Football's fun, particularly if you're winning.
Brett Bach comes off for the Tigers, holding his arm. Keep an eye on that situation. Twins left, single receiver to the right for the Raiders. They keep it on the ground, and there's that off left. Somebody hit him and knocked him backwards.
Yeah, someone stuffed the blocker. Nice job. Boy, that's a big-time play there.
Jack Schozel, number 84.
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't say anything.
That's why I wanted to double check.
So if he hit him from his position, he looped around to the inside. That could have been a predetermined stunt. Inside man goes out and vice versa.
So it brings up 2nd and 8. keeper by the quarterback and going nowhere.
Oh, that's great. The guy that's making the tackle.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope that's a cramp.
Yep. Yep, he says pull the toes.
You gotta, you gotta drink liquid, way before the game. In the afternoon, noon hour in the afternoon, you drink glasses of water, even if you're not thirsty,
because it's
you got to
be
do
needed
that
later.
You got to do that.
You're sweating everything out,
and that's something you got to be on top of. Whoever's in charge of if the player's responsible enough, great. Otherwise, tell mommy and daddy, older brother, coaching staff, got to remind these guys to be drinking water. You can't afford to be losing players, even if it's just for a series of plays, because of cramping up.
Well, and the thing is, this is the fourth situation we've had in this game. You're surprised the officials have not called some timeouts for mandatory water break, as they've done in the past.
Well, I don't know if I buy that, but because I don't see most of the other teams dealing with that as an issue.
And that was Brent Bach.
And maybe Ripon has more guys going both ways too, which really makes it all the more reason. Even if you're not thirsty, because if by the time you feel you're thirsty, it's too late. You're already well dehydrated.
So Bach was the first one in there to stop that run.
Yeah.
And he's the one that comes up with the cramp. So hopefully
that
works that out.
It's nothing more than that.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 11.
So you'll lose a starting linebacker.
Quarterback keeper again, up off the left side.
Wow.
Big hole, reads it well.
What a seam.
Come down close to the 15-yard line.
Ripon defense is just gassed. They're not reacting.
And another Tiger getting up slowly and coming off.
Yeah, that's Quentin Steffes.
Hopefully that's just another cramp situation.
Sophomore Perkins goes back in.
He's fun to watch. Tends to fly around there pretty good.
I saw that last week. He had a nice shoestring tackle, saved a touchdown.
So 1st and 10, ball sitting on the 15-yard line for the Raiders. Faust calling out signals.
Going left.
Hand it off.
Both guards
kicks it
pulled.
outside. Nice job.
Both guards pulled to the left, and he followed him.
Stellmacher out there on the tackle.
They don't have to use misdirection right now, but if they do, look out.
Yeah, they just got to put their head down and go forward.
I'd go power right here. I'd go up inside the tackles, just simply for the way that the defense is reacting right now. They're gassed, they're tired. I'd run right at them.
So 2nd and 4.
They can get a first, around the 6-yard line?
Right around there.
Up the middle.
Up the middle, Meyer. Tigers gang tackle around. He'll pick up just a couple. Right up around the 13-yard line. They'll put it down.
So congratulations to the girls tennis team on their quick start out of the gate, winning 3 of 4 duels. The boys on their first soccer game, they're 1-0. They beat Berlin, your arch rival, 5-0, which is like 45-3 in a football game. And then also, a cross-country team was running behind our house yesterday. I was trying to cook on the grill, and
that's probably why they were running over. They could smell it.
It was different. I'd never done cod on the grill, fish. So that was different. And so Riley's trying to be funny again, but it's really not succeeding. But Riley thought it was good. Okay. Anyway, and so they got that going. They're going to do the real thing. Coach
Ripon's taking a timeout here.
Yeah.
Good call. And
yeah, cross-country coach stuck his head in the door here when we were.
Chris Gatsky?
Yeah, talking about it. They got to get going here. They'll do the real thing over in Oshkosh, I think, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, we don't know what's happening tonight and tomorrow, but that's in Wisconsin Dells with the girls volleyball team.
A lot of Tiger action going on all over. For a truly delicious lunch or evening dinner plan, a visit to Pastimes Pub and Grill. Carol's homemade soups are always available, along with a great variety of sandwiches, awesome burgers, and salads. Be sure to try their popular baby back ribs available on Saturday evenings. If you enjoy cooking, stop in and apply at Pastimes Pub and Grill, downtown Ripon.
You know, and a place for breakfast. Next time you're heading out for breakfast or lunch, visit Mr. and Mrs. P's Eatery. Their menu includes many different scratch-made, professionally prepared entrees, and your meal with a delectable, that's right, delicious, delectable dessert from their in-house bakery. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Mr. and Mrs. P's, Fond du Lac Street, Ripon. My wife was there tonight. She grabbed 2 desserts, took them home.
And you won't see either.
Well, yeah, I'll see both. I'll see both. A delectable brownie, I was told.
You will have to let me know how that is. Keeper herself. Faust will take it down and get inside the 5. Down to the 4.
I tell you, the support for Ripon Sports, isn't it something? I mean, you look at all the ads we're reading here and listen to that. And,
and that's not all of them.
And then, no, you got Silver Creek Dentistry, Ripon Ace Hardware, Diedrich Insurance, American Family, Modern Pole Builders, Rural Insurance. Yeah.
Always been big support for Ripon Tiger Sports. Pride of the community.
Yeah. Jim's Liberty Inn, the Buzz Inn.
Oh, now you're really going back.
Bob's. What was that? Was it Bob's Bakery? Black Fox.
Now you're just calling off names.
No, that was actually the Black Fox. The late Wayne Searle.
Yep. And another
and
romp
he walks in.
Third touchdown of the evening for Mr. Schmitz.
Yeah, Mr. Schmitz. You know that Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Smith goes off the left side.
Yeah, he goes
that's
to the
his
end zone.
third. That's his third touchdown going into the end zone here on the left side. I see 10 out there, and they're down inside that 20-yard line. I'm thinking him every time.
Oh, why not? It's worked well for them tonight so far.
Set up for the point after with a kick. Strong leg looks true, and it is.
Sipple with the extra point. And that makes it 30-0 with 8:23 to go on your Heidel House scoreboard here in the 4th. From Ingalls Field, Marty Ernster, Howard Hansen bringing this to you.
I hope I don't have to bring mosquito spray next time I'm up here. I'll tell you that right now.
I got DEET. I'll bring.
I'll buy it, but it's going to be a write-off. So, with that, it's the tale of two halves. Ripon played very well enough to be down 3-0, trailing at the half. And in the second half, the statement was made at the opening kickoff and by Ripon, and subsequent run plays by the Raiders, I think in less than 6 plays. Marched 60 yards, and that was that. And they never looked back after that.
Oh, they had that 50-yard touchdown pass, which really kind of broke the will of the Tigers.
Yeah, you know, it did. They still were only down 9-0 after the missed extra point, blocked actually by the Tigers. So you're down 9-0, and you're still in the game, feeling okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 one missed tackle on the flat. And you better get a short memory if you're going to play defensive back, I'll tell you that.
Sipple with the kick. This one goes
out of bounds.
Deep and goes out of bounds, so the Tigers will get good field position here.
He's been flirting with that all along. Yeah. For the Tigers' sake, they could have used one of those early in the second half.
Just to turn around and make it a little bit easier.
Actually, a lot easier, right? Instead of inside your own 15 or whatever.
True.
You can get it out to the 40? Is that where they put it?
It is the 35, I believe.
In high school? Okay. 40 in the NFL. Not sure where it is in D1 college.
Got to be close to the same there.
Well, yeah, 35 or 40.
Make the long drive this season with confidence all year long. Get ready for your next road trip with Goodyear tires from Cliff's Tire and Battery, West Fond du Lac Street, Ripon. And we'll see what the Tigers do on this possession. What they have for healthy bodies.
Well, you can't come out of a huddle like that.
You got to come out with energy.
Well, I mean, you snap out of a huddle, you go up to the line. There's some confusion. I think they're short a player. They are.
Yep.
Making some changes.
We're getting the countdown here. They better snap it quick, and not enough time.
Timeout to save the penalty.
And a smart call there by Coach Bradley.
He had no choice.
Drive your favorite teams to the game with Lamers Bus Line. Lamers is now hiring school bus drivers. Great pay, flexible schedules, complete driver training and bonuses up to $1,500. Apply in person or go to lamers.com/carriers. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. If you think your retirement deserves more attention, Edward Jones can help. Stop by and see your local Edward Jones financial advisor, Greg DeGalovich, at 121 Watson Street, or Shade Horton at 1098 West Fond du Lac Street. Learn more. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC. All right, coming out of that timeout here, 8:23 to go in the ball game. Tigers trailing 30-0. Your Heidel House scoreboard. Quick pass out to Stelmacher. Nice little fake there, and he gets it up across the 40.
That's what a good guy does when he's got space, so make that first guy miss. Jared Stelmacher being one of the few bright spots tonight. I tell you, for a sophomore playing the more complicated position at quarterback, I think Bradley's done a really nice job. I look at a week ago and I see tonight, and I see a huge jump in not just effort, but in execution, more importantly. I think he's done a nice job.
Well, he was 3 for 6 in the first half for 58 yards. So,
but cool under fire, not just stats.
Little pitch out.
Boy, they had me fooled. I thought they bobbled or dropped the ball at
Well, that's
first.
what it looked like, and Olsen was coming around the corner.
Did it? I wonder if it hit the ground and bounced right back up into his hands. I mean, it just something looked awkward.
It looked off.
Yeah.
But a first down.
It worked.
Either way for the Tigers.
Call it again. 2 run plays, yeah. I think we're seeing some, in fact, I know we are. We're seeing changes here.
Yep.
Defensively, big time. And offensively.
That's a good time to get some new bodies in and involved. There's Stelmacher going around to the wide side. And we get a flag out there. So there's got to be a hold on a block somewhere.
The old school thing is some coaches, they don't make their substitutions, when they're going to win the game. They don't make those until the other team that's going to lose the game capitulates and makes theirs first. That's the old school way. But to the credit of this coach, he realizes he wants to get his guys in there, and they got the win secured. So they put their guys out there irregardless of what his opponent's doing.
Save your starters. It's a big thing. You don't want anybody to get hurt on an evening like tonight. When you start conference next week. So they mark off the hold.
I think Coach Kelm was like that. Hey, you guys put your guys out and I'll make my changes. There's nothing wrong with that.
So it'll take it way back to the 37-yard line. And it'll make it first down.
If I didn't know better, I'd say that it's gotten warmer than when I got here.
Well, can't you see the
I'm
humidity
serious.
hanging up
well,
there?
Yeah, honest to gosh, I think it's warmer now than at 6 o'clock. Well, I'm going to take a look at what the current temp is.
Going over the middle.
Nice snag.
Got to fight for it. And they're going to say it was taken away.
Boy, it looked like the Ripon kid took it away from the defender, didn't it?
I thought he had possession when his knee was on the ground.
Well, I can't see that well, but it looked like the Ripon kid made a great break on it and took it away from what would have been an interception.
Yeah.
And then when they went to the ground, the defender, to his credit, wrestled it away from him.
Well, otherwise, it is a turnover right at the 45-yard line in front of us.
You're right. At halftime, I stepped out. Decent-sized crowd for Ripon, and I looked down to my left, and there was another bunch of young kids dressed as county workers, crossing guards. So they look at each other from across the field.
Yeah.
I'll have to have someone explain to me, Howard, what that's all
Yeah,
about.
why they're doing that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I would have worn my knee on if I'd have known that. Would have fit right in. So it's 7:09 to go here in the ball game. Tigers trailing 30-0, and just a turnover on the interception. Next week we travel to Berlin as we start the conference part of the season.
Yeah, and Stellmacher is not going to show any mercy. I'll tell you that right now. And he does a lot of old school. I mean, you talk power football just like his father, and that apple falling from the tree.
Yep.
Not too far. A lot of too tight, a lot of power sweeps, jet series, a lot of lead blockers. Here we come. Stop us if you can.
If you can.
And then when you get sucked up, then you play action pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Catches somebody crossing deep over the middle. So here we go. Twins to the near side. Single receiver up top. Hand off. Picking. Working his way. Picking up 2 yards there. New running back in the game. The clock keeps running here. Pro football coming up tomorrow. Packers will take on the Buffalo Bills.
12 noon.
Expect to see the guys on the bubble play a lot in that one as they have to get down to their 53-man roster. I believe it's by Tuesday.
Yeah, they got to make a cut, tomorrow?
Yep. And then they're able to put 16 on the practice squad this year, so that'll kind of help with some numbers. People you'd normally have to pedal off to other teams, you get a chance to hang on to.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Big Ten football starting up.
Top of the 6th, 2-0 Twins over the Brewers up there in the cities. I think that's where they're playing.
Target Field.
Target?
It's that French Field.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me that no retractable roof there up in Minnesota.
I like that.
Well,
takes you back to the old Memorial Stadium
yeah,
days.
except when it rains and you can't play baseball.
That's what they make doubleheaders for.
Well, what if it rains 2 days in a row? Then they got to reschedule in the season.
Yep.
People make plans to go to games.
Oh, I know.
And they don't like to be,
Fumble.
Well,
Still on the
who
ground.
comes up with it.
Official's right on top, and he points Tiger ball.
The black uniforms come up with it.
And coming up with that ball was number 83, I believe, there. And that's Peyton Stagel.
Yep.
Everybody patting him on the back there, so good to see that. Tigers.
Boy, you got to work on that huddle.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no enthusiasm at all.
No, well, and it's coming out like strand of spaghetti. I mean, you got to snap, get into it. Let's go, guys.
New quarterback in there for the Tigers.
Okay, good effort, good blocking at
Still
the point
going.
of attack.
Gotta like
Kept
that.
his feet going.
Giving this crowd something to cheer about.
Way to hit the hole. Good blocking, too.
Thought the number was 23 there. Wasn't really sure.
Got about 7.5, almost 8 yards out of that.
Would be Parker Stellmacher, if that's who it was. It looks like it was as he goes out to the slot side.
Perkins.
Yep. Got a nice little check block out there. He's going down left side. He's down.
What a stride.
Brought out of bounds right around the 20-yard line.
Boy, what a stride that freshman has.
Going to say he stepped out at about the 24.
He's a nice athlete. He really grabbed my attention in that game last week. And then defensively, and now we're seeing him on the other side of the ball.
He likes to stick his nose in on plays, and that's a good thing for a defender.
Well, he's got nice size for a 9th grader. He's thick, and we just saw what his speed is. And he likes to hit. So it sounds like a good football player to me.
The Tigers off a good drive. That one's a little slow developing. Some blocking out there. Cutting off to the right here. Gets it down inside the 20. And that is Stellmacher there.
Wonder if that's younger bro.
Gannon?
Yeah. Just wondering.
Yeah. Parker Stellmacher could be.
Yeah, and they don't have the grade tonight on the program because they listed the parents and family members. So
under 4 minutes to go here in the ballgame. Tigers driving a little bit. Picking his way through up close to the 10-yard line, and that is Perkins.
It is younger brother because Brock and Heather are mom and dad for both. So,
first down on the run there by Perkins. So clock ticking here.
Play action
back to pass. Looking. Shoots it across the middle, and nice job there on the pass.
Boy, nice job. Threw a little English dart.
Struby just threw a dart there. He waited and waited. Now we're going to get a flag on the far side. It'll be a dead ball penalty. And it's against Ripon.
Did he call holding? It looked like he grabbed
it looked like the personal foul.
Well, let's watch.
See what he calls here.
Are they allowing the touchdown though? That's what I want to know. And this is after dead ball foul. It looks like that's the case. Maybe a little over celebration, which I think you can appreciate.
Unsportsmanlike.
That's probably what it was.
That's what he just signaled. So Cameron Hahn will be in to attempt the extra point at the 3:08 mark here, as the Tigers do get on the board.
Too much enthusiasm after getting their first touchdown.
Sometimes you just got to let them play.
I don't know. I mean,
They're going to mark it. Marking it off. Usually they take it on the kickoff, but I guess they're asking. And they're going to mark it off here. Well, this is where you bring your offense back out and let them go for 2.
Well, if he makes this, they should give him 3 points.
Yeah.
Got a block, though.
It's down, it's up, it's good. Just cleared the
Crawled over. Nice job.
Cameron Hahn with a nice kick there to make it 30-7. Tigers getting on the scoreboard with 3:08 to go here on your Heidel House scoreboard. And the fans here had something to cheer about on that drive. Not a lot really to cheer about all night. So, as I said earlier, we're traveling to Berlin next week.
Short
Take
drive.
on the Indians, yep. Good thing about going to Berlin, Shepherds.
Yeah, got to get there early enough.
Yep.
Haven't been there a long time. They had new owners, 2-3 years ago?
Mm-hmm. They've kind of extended their hours longer. They used to.
Yeah, we'd go over there in a summer league basketball. I coached them over there, and if you coached the second game, they were going to be closing up on the way home already.
Yeah, we used to stop there for Legion after Legion baseball and do the same. So, okay, Cameron Hahn will get ready to kick off. Got a chance to watch the future Tiger cheerleaders at halftime. It's good to see the young gals come out.
Yeah, they did. Good job.
Broke them down into age groups, and this will go all the way into the end zone.
Not used to seeing that.
No.
Nice kick. I think somebody had a little adrenaline flying after that field goal.
Don't blame him.
I call it a field goal given the distance.
Oh, no kidding. That was out at about 37 yards that he kicked that one from. He'll get a pat on the back and a talk to from Coach Bradley on that. So coming up on the
that storm is coming in. You look
at
Old
watching it
Glory.
flash a bit.
Old Glory starting to pick up. It's been hanging pretty much just straight down all evening.
Channel 2 weather said before I came somewhere between 9 and 10 we could expect it.
Okay.
We got to be right around there.
I'll send our executive producer Riley Eisnagel for my umbrella.
9:22. So I guess that's somewhere between 9 and 10 as the Tigers gain tackle. A pickup of about 4 yards there.
I thought last week was a long game, and this one is another one.
Yeah.
I just think penalties and change of possessions and timeouts.
Yeah, just everything put together. Well, when we do go to Plymouth, that just gives us more time to have some of those brats. So here we go. 2.5 on the scoreboard time-wise here in the ballgame. Kiel's in no big hurry either. They're trying to use as much time as possible.
Watch their second unit here offensively.
Slow count. Quick handoff. Nope. Quarterback keeps it. And a nice roll-up tackle there.
Good gang tackle.
Dazinski in on that tackle. So it'll bring 3rd down and 2 as we're under the 2-minute mark here. A lot of Ripon High School sports coming up in the next week, as Marty alluded to earlier. Got volleyball today, tomorrow, soccer coming up.
Tomorrow.
If you didn't get enough tonight, check some of those out. Also, if you like what you heard tonight on the Ripon channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be glad to have you join us. And that one nowhere to go, so he slides down. So it'll bring up 4th and 3 as he loses a yard. Starting to feel a little bit of a breeze. That storm is coming in. 1 minute to go here in the ballgame. And Kiel's just taking their time. And the coach is waving to his offense to come off. And they'll call time and probably punt. With 41 seconds left. Something more. Marty here is just besides himself. It's just, should have been over with already. So any big plans for the weekend?
No. I don't think so.
You didn't volunteer to mow
I
greens tomorrow, did you?
To be honest with you, I have to go home and check my list, my to-do list.
Yep. See what Connie put down for you? This weekend, Ripon College students start moving into the dorms, so it'll be busy in downtown Ripon.
Oh, heck, I thought they'd been back forever already.
No, that's all been the athletic teams.
Did you see that? You see that after 3/4 of a century, Badger Boys is gone.
I know. I was surprised just because there was a lower bid by Eau Claire.
My first job was working for, I say my first job. No, I did babysitting and lawn mowing way before that. But my first working for a corporation and getting a payroll check, $1.45 an hour as an 8th grader.
Serving for Badger Boys?
I made hot chocolate in the kitchen, pots and pans, cleaning, whatever.
Did it all.
Yeah. Stayed on for the summer. It did, counted people coming through the line to eat. That was a very challenging role for me.
And that's what made you into a well-rounded entrepreneur that you are.
That's where Jim Watson's algebra and geometry came in really effectively.
Looking to go downfield.
Look at this.
Back shoulder pass. Nice job out there.
Boy, that's a nice ball, too, that he threw. My goodness. That was a tight spiral on target.
And Carter Kissinger, the recipient of that very nice pass.
And like you said, that was a back shoulder throw.
Got the defender spun around. It was back shoulder. They wind the clock up here. They'll get another opportunity. He spikes it with 16 seconds.
Either that or he's got hands of stone.
It's all that humidity.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. That was a smart play, actually.
Yeah, because they had no timeouts. So it was a good, smart play to turn around, just spike it and get a chance at a good play to.
That was a nice toss. Ethan Struble.
He's had a couple of nice passes.
Yeah.
That thing's starting to blow around. She's coming in and she's lightning off to the
just in time to get
north.
Wet on the way to the car. Is that what you're saying?
That's about it. Looking.
Oh,
avoids a tackle, throws it downfield, and we're going to get a flag for holding with 9 seconds left here. So the Tigers looking to possibly get in the end zone one more, which would be good momentum builder for the younger group here.
Just an enjoyable moment.
Something to leave positively. You got to like it. So, okay, penalty is marked off here. Ball is on the 14-yard line. And we'll have time for one more play as 9 seconds on the clock. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Single back for protection.
Rolls out to his right.
Looking. Nothing there. He's going to run it. He's going to go in the end zone himself. 14-yard touchdown run. And a nice run there as there was nothing to throw to by Ethan Struble.
Nice job. Good job.
Nice roll out there.
Just the drive. Those last couple drives, outstanding.
So they're going to go for 2 here. Why not? Scores 30-13. 2 seconds left here on the Title House scoreboard.
Yeah, I just, they don't want to kick it. I mean,
why?
They don't have a backup kicker is my guess. And there's no sense sending
Hahn out again,
there.
And that's going nowhere.
Perkins.
Yeah, he just couldn't do much there as Meyer comes shooting through for Kiel. And that's so 2 seconds left. Squib the ball down. Let the time run out and get everybody out of here before the rain comes.
You hope.
Well, that'd be my thought.
It sounds like a kazoo band playing the Ripon theme. I think it is.
Poor speakers. Yep. Well, maybe that's Stieber and the guys in the box there.
He hurt his shoulder.
Playing golf?
No. He
Playing the kazoo.
No, at his house. You know, pocket doors in
Oh,
the
yeah.
older homes.
Yep.
Well, he was ready to pull it, and but the door wasn't ready to move.
Oh, a little swelling there.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't
Boy,
talked to him.
that's rough.
So I'll challenge him now on longest drive for money.
He's a pretty good, accurate golfer.
Captain Chris Stieber.
So out to kick it will be Cameron Hahn. Just squib this down the middle and let somebody down it. Little pooch kit there, taken at about the 21, just trying to kill the clock there, and that's where the ball game will come to an end with the Kiel Raiders defeating your Ripon Tigers 30-13. Want to turn around and thank our executive producer Riley Asenagel, Cole Gagney, our technician Casey Hansen on the sideline camera, Marty Ernster, my partner. Definitely a great game.
Well, nice to see the non-starters put 2 drives together offensively, do a good job, and that's a nice way to end the game in the otherwise disappointing outcome when you look at the scoreboard. But, load the wagon, smack the mules for next week. We start conference play with our arch rival Berlin at Berlin, 7 o'clock next week.
Well, I'm Howard Hansen for all of us here at the Ripon Channel and The Wave 93.1 and AM 1600. We want to thank you and have a good evening.